Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.
One week into the fall football season, all teams in the Sac Joaquin section have begun league play, and already we're seeing separation in each league and conference. Winners of the first games are rising to the top, losers falling to the bottom half. And tonight, we'll see which directions these two teams will be headed in Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week as the Roseville Tigers invade Elk Grove to take on the host, Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack, tonight on the Game of the Week. Good evening and welcome to Wolfpack Stadium. We're on the campus of Cosumnes Oaks High School, along with the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim Domino. I'm Will James, and we welcome you to what we believe is a very provocative matchup that will probably set the course for the remainder of the season for these two squads tonight, Jim. Roseville desperately seeking a win, and Cosumnes Oaks hoping to stay on the winning track here at home tonight on homecoming night.
Well, yes, it's homecoming night here at Cosumnes High School, Cosumnes Oaks, and as you look at the stands and the field, you see a lot of Halloween colors, and we know Halloween's a month away, but if you look around, you think it were tonight. Yes, these two teams, one team comes 1-0 here at Cosumnes against, as you mentioned, Will, Roseville, headed by head coach Larry Cunha in his 26th year, needs a victory desperately tonight after coming in here 0-1.
Well, these two teams, despite having played only 5 times previously, each of the last 5 years, have built up a rather unique rivalry, and certainly the last meeting between these two squads, it was in Roseville a year ago. What a wild one that turned out to be, and what a crazy finish.
Well, there you see the score, 42-24, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Roseville was behind at the half, 24-14, and then in the second half they responded with 28 unanswered points, helped along by many turnovers by Cosumnes, leading to 3 defensive touchdowns, and of course that made the difference in that 42-24 victory for Cosumnes Oaks.
And those 3 defensive touchdowns, a fumble return for a TD, and 2 pick-6 scores for the Tigers. Now, the last time out for these two squads, their last outings had mixed results. More of the same for Larry Cunha's Tigers, and back on the right track for Derek Milgram's outfit.
Well, Larry Cunha's Tigers had a rough trip. They traveled over to Del Campo to meet Mike Domino's Cougars, and the Cougars were hot that night, and passing the football as well, running hard, and shutting out Roseville with a great defensive effort. And so certainly they hope to rebound off that. Now, Cosumnes Oaks responded with a big victory over previously unbeaten Oakmont, who came in there 3-0. Cosumnes did everything. They got scoring from their wide receivers, excellent running from Evans and company, and went on to a 35-14 victory.
Well, both teams have had their ups and downs with injury status, particularly this year, Roseville. Last year, Cosumnes Oaks more serious in that department. And the impact players are really going to need to assert themselves full blast in tonight's contest, starting with the tough Tigers.
Well, let's go with the Tigers. Alex Evans, very stocky, 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", 220-pounder, runs real hard, has over 300 yards. Kyle Alves will take over the duties tonight as a signal caller. Not a lot of experience, but he'll get his feet wet tonight. Number 9, Jackson Esparza, leading both from a tight end position and a linebacker position. And then, of course, number 52, Colton Grayback, one of the top linebackers in this tough league.
Well, Wolfpack head coach Derek Milgram will counter with his impact players, and that would be the Wolfpack leaders playing at home tonight on homecoming. They have to bring a superior performance.
Let's start out with their great running back, number 13, Jacob Track. Track had over 1,000 last year, 1,000 yards as a sophomore. They brought him up early, and he's on track to reach that or more. Number 11, Larry Frierson, the left-handed quarterback here tonight, has been a little hot and cold, but Coach expects big things out of him tonight. Dakota Van Dyke, 57 tackles thus far this year, on a course to go over 100. And, of course, Nick Craig, who doubles in the secondary and one of the top wide receivers in the area.
Well, that is how we have things set up for you this evening on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We urge you to stand by and stick with us. When we return, Rick Stewart will have much more on tonight's big matchup as we return to Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
We'll have to go 80 yards.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people.
Happy to have you with us this evening for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We're in Elk Grove at Cosumnes Oaks High School, where it's homecoming night for the host Wolfpack as they prepare to entertain visiting Roseville High School. Let's turn our attention down to field level and pick up our colleague Rick Stewart.
All righty. Thanks, Will, Jim. We're going to have a good game here tonight. Two teams that are really figuratively fighting for their lives tonight. I mean, you have to come up with a win, both these two teams. There's no two ways around it. The start has been rough for both teams, different but rough. Let's take a look at these two coaches of these two programs. First off, for Roseville, let's talk about Larry Cunha. It's his 26th year as a head coach. You can see his record right there. That's 69-65. That's just since 2004. Things have been, kind of obviously about a 500 time period there. He has had great teams in the past. At 9-2 last season, had a good solid year. 26th year, as we said, as a head coach. 6 playoff appearances. And the other interesting part here is Larry Cunha is the second longest tenured head coach here in the SAC section, second only to Albergini at Grant. Mike Albergini in his 27th year. Larry Cunha going to be hanging on to that. Now let's talk about Cosumnes Oaks and their head coach, Derek Milgram. Different side of the coin for Milgram and Cosumnes Oaks. It's his 4th year. His career record's 25-14. He's averaged 8 wins each of the first 3 seasons. 3 straight playoff appearances, 2-3 playoff record, but he's also got a CVC title, and that's in 2014. Now let's look at the series history between these two people. Series history, 6th meeting between these two teams since 2012. Well, let's take a look at the Tigers prevailed, though, in that crazy meeting last year, the high-scoring battle. Cosumnes Oaks leads the series 3-2. Now, the interesting part about this whole thing is the Wolfpack has outscored Roseville 163-86 in the series. That's an average score of 33-11. So things are kind of weird in the 3-2 edge. You'd think with those numbers, CO would be a little bit higher than that, but that's not the case. It's been back and forth. Now, let's take a look at the common opponent of these two teams. There's only one common opponent. That's River Valley, and they're number 13 in the Domino Dozen. River Valley took care of Roseville 59-13 in week 3. And in week 0, River Valley got by Cosumnes Oaks 42-27. Now, the score's a little misleading. It was a high-scoring game, but there were just some issues there for Cosumnes Oaks. But they've turned it around. They've played solid ball since then. I'm really excited about tonight's game and what we're going to have here on the field. It's homecoming. The colors are right for both teams. It's homecoming. Will, Jim, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. Yes, things are just about squared away to begin this one. We've got co-captains meeting at midfield from both teams. And certainly, as we covered earlier in the pregame show, league play has begun, and as a result, each game multiplies proportionately as we probe deeper and deeper into conference play.
It certainly does. Right at this moment, we have 8-team conference, and 4 teams are 1-0, and 4 teams are 0-1. So, yes, every game's important, week in, week out.
Beautiful evening in Elk Grove tonight for this contest, and being homecoming, certainly a blessing for Cosumnes Oaks. Let's take a look at what we do on a weekly basis, the Imperators, matchups and intangibles for tonight's game.
Well, let's start out with the matchups. That Tiger offense with multiple sets. Coach Cunha has told me tonight you're liable to see everything from spread formations to split backs, double tight ends, etc. He's going to try to mix it up so that they can create some mismatches versus that Cosumnes defensive unit. The Wolfpack wide receivers, and they got some outstanding receivers, and Lassie, Collins, Craig, Moore, King, Perkins. They've got 6 outstanding receivers. The question is, can the Tiger secondary of Furtick, Esparza, Jennings stay with them? Consistently executing assignments. Both coaches have said in their preseason that's been a big problem. It's not just turnovers, it's mistakes being made by both teams with a very young roster. Strength of schedule, as you look at their strength of schedule, it's extremely, extremely strong in favor of Cosumnes right now.
We'll be right back for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back to the big show tonight here on Access Sacramento. It's the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. This evening we're in Elk Grove, where host Cosumnes Oaks on homecoming night, entertaining the visiting Roseville Tigers after an outstanding rendition of the Star Spangled Banner by Veronica Balleos. Well, Roseville coming in wearing their road whites, trimmed in orange and black. And let's take a look at the representatives from the NCOA that will monitor this game closely. Ray Pulley, the referee, our umpire, Tony Karbowski.
Boy, she opened the door and everything went flying.
Pearson, Magenti, and Sean Johnson round out our officiating team, and we are set for the opening kickoff. And the Tigers of Roseville will be booting. Austin Wayner to do the honors, and we are underway. The deep kick taken and a good run back. Mark Collins, a speedster, carries out beyond the 20, and pretty good field position upcoming now for the host Wolfpack. The football spotted at the 27-yard line. Let's see the offense. Gorgeous evening in Elk Grove tonight for this homecoming match as we're ready for the first play from scrimmage. Quarterback Larry Frierson, hands off, short yardage, and here's the starting group for the the Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack. Frierson at the QB position and breakaway threat Jacob Track. Then a quartet of wide receivers, all of them excellent. The interior line, Doucette, a late scratch. Sam Hawkins will get the start at the left tackle. And there's the rest of the offensive line. Right side running, close to a first down, and a good gain for a first down, just shy of the 40-yard line. And there's no doubt Track, number 13, will have to be a key man. The defensive front, a down 3. Gregory and Jones, the D ends, D tackles. Now 5 linebackers are going to try to check this Wolfpack offense, and there you see all 5 of them. And then the short secondary, just 3 back for coverage. Frierson steps away from trouble. The lefty throws on the run, and he's got a man near sideline, big speed. That was a bullet out there. And Corey Perkins is a real speedster and can break it at any time. So a first down, they move the stakes again.
Well, actually, Frierson had to flush the pocket, and then he found Perkins, of course, wide open. Will, looked like he was going to take a sack initially.
So the Wolfpack has moved to the Roseville 35. Nice drive thus far. Fake and throw. A high strike overthrown, incomplete. Frierson may have rushed that a little bit. It was intended out there for Hilassie, one of their top receivers, wearing number 10.
Well, it was 1 yard short of a lateral. It was a forward, but not much.
There you see Hilassie. He's got wonderful stats, averaging 24.5 yards per catch.
Well, I understand he's already been offered by, I believe, Colorado, and I'm sure more offers are going to come in verbally.
2nd and 10 now. Hand off to Track, sweep right, break a tackle, and finally get stopped inside the 30-yard line after getting some help from the secondary. Part of that stop belongs to Jackson Esparza, number 9, and he got help from C.K. Catilas.
Well, Track has got 3 carries already, and as we know, he's going to carry the load tonight. Had a great year as a young sophomore last year, going for about 1,000, and as this season plus another one to play, and he's ever dangerous to break one.
Well, gain of 7, make it 3rd and a key 3. Motion in the backfield from Track, and they throw to him, and he falls forward on a stumble, and that's going to be well short of a first, and we'll see what Derek Milgram and the offensive brain trust wants to do here on 4th and short. Another look.
As we see, that's an incomplete pass. It is forward, and it's a drop.
That was well covered out there by 2 Tigers defenders. So a little delay in having this play come in from the sideline on 4th down. We're just underway here at Cosumnes Oaks High School, the host Wolfpack on homecoming night. Forced to call a timeout here with a little bit of confusion, and probably the wise thing to do.
I think so. Why not use a timeout? I think that is a wise, because he hasn't decided whether he's going to fake the kick or go for it. And with the ball resting on that 32-yard line, Will, it's tough to give up the football, because if you don't short kick it, it could be a touchback.
The stoppage comes with 9:08 early here in the first in order for the Wolfpack to re-rack and have everybody on the same page. Let's take a look. Though it's early in conference play, a look at the CVC standings to show you how it has separated top and bottom.
Well, there you see it. Antelope, Del Campo, Whitney, Cosumnes, Oaks all 1-0, having won last week. And at the bottom part of the first completion of the first week of the CVC, Oakmont, Ponderosa, Roseville all with losses, and Bella Vista. So teams are going to be locking up all season long in a very, very tough conference. So every game's important, really. In the next couple of 3, 4, 5 weeks, there's going to be a lot of wins and losses, and certainly then we'll see who the top 3 or 4 are going to be, Will.
Okay, back to action. The big play will reset for you now. It's going to be 4th down and closer to 7 as they spot the football outside the 30. Frierson throws out here to the near side. He's got a hookup, but well short of a first down on a completion out there to Khalif Hailassi. But good secondary coverage applied by Esparza. Let's take another look at that.
Well, there you see it. Frierson delivers all right, but the route is short, as you mentioned, Will. He's got to go up high. Hailassi is a very gifted athlete, but if he's going to run that comeback or stop route, he's got to go 2 to 3 yards beyond the chains and then come back, give himself some leeway in terms of making the first down.
So the Tigers take over 1st and 10 from the Roseville 26, and head coach Larry Cunha has had to patch together a good part of this lineup after having been hit with an avalanche of injuries. Right side running, they give it to Dion, and Jennings unable to turn the corner and get outside. A modest start on first down for the Tigers.
I'm a little surprised them running outside. Normally, Roseville has some speed. I would say Cosumnes definitely has speed on the perimeter. And I know it's only the first down. We got 2nd and long. And I thought Coach Larry Cunha would attack inside the tackles tonight.
I did too. I thought Evans would get the full work, but it's still early. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Turn and give. It does go to Evans, and the play is stacked up. He falls forward across the 25. Let's take a look at the offensive alignment for the visiting Tigers. Alvis at the QB position with Evans and Jordan at the running backs. Furtick, Baker, and Esparza the receivers. Now Alvis has not had much action, just 5 for 9 coming into this game for 78 yards and a TD, so he's liable to get a full night's work. 3rd and 10. Look right and fire out there. There was a receiver in the vicinity, but not in a position to catch the football. 4th and 10. Let's go ahead and set the Wolfpack D. There's your down 4. Rayleigh, Duncan, Andrews, and Allen. The backers, what a trio that is. The 3 leading tacklers are their linebackers, Van Dyke, Adame, and Scott. And then the 4 deep secondary, sparked by the C crew, Collins, Cannon, and Craig, and Hailassi to complete that secondary.
Those linebackers, the 3 of them have a total of over 100, Will, between the 3 of them.
Austin Wayner to punt. Line drive, double safeties back, and they let it roll, and it gets out of bounds. The ball skipped past Collins, but good field position upcoming for the Pack. So each club with a feeling out possession. And the better exchange on field position, of course, belongs to Cosumnes Oaks.
Well, it is, but Collins, I'm sure, would like to have that back because it cost him about 12, 15 yards by not fielding that ball.
So 2nd possession for Larry Frierson and the Pack offense. Track, sweeps left, breaks through a tackle and gets shoved out of bounds. He went right through defensive back Ben Furtick and got another 6 or 7 out of that.
Well, let's have a look at this. He bounces the play outside off tackle, and it looks like they're going to knock him out of bounds, but, you know, he breaks that tackle. You're not going to arm tackle this guy. He's not that big, but let me tell you, he's strong for his size. You know, he's listed at 5'7", 165, but he runs like he's 180, Will.
By all means, very tough to stop and has the great moves and speed. Turn and give, and this is stacked up beautifully by the Roseville defense along the right side. Nothing doing over there. And part of that stop belongs to Colton Rayback, one of their top tacklers. He wears 52.
Well, Rayback's had a good year. He's had 10 tackles. That linebacker core of Coach Cunha's Roseville Tigers are all pretty good. You'll see one of them bouncing back and kind of being a strong safety, helping the secondary out.
Loss of one on the play. Track again. Also good stopping by the Tigers. Short yardage, give them a couple on that, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long. So they park the football at the 48-yard line of the Wolfpack. Gains 3 on the play, but they're still going to need 8 more for a first down.
Well, again, if they give that kind of cushion to these wideouts out here of Cosumnes, who are very dangerous, Craig Moore, Ilassi, and Collins, here we are. As you look at it, Will, look at the 10-yard cushions they're giving to their wideouts right here in front of us.
Their defensive backs are way off the receivers, and a stoppage and a timeout. Again, Coach Milgram wants to reset his team's focus and calls another timeout, 2 of them in the first 6 minutes. So just 6:02, and we've had a pair of timeouts by the host Wolfpack. No score in the ball game, and so far on early possessions, both squads have sputtered. Now there is one thing in common, and that's a common opponent, the tough River Valley Falcons.
Well, yeah, River Valley's off to a great start this year. I have them ranked number 13 in the Domino dozen, and they certainly have off to a great start. They score a lot of points, and of course having Coach Humphers come down from NU, the old head coach with many, many victories under, joining that staff. That squad of River Valley has become very dangerous in that conference this year.
It has. A week 0 meeting knocked out Cosumnes Oaks, and then in week 3, River Valley took care of Roseville. So here we are, back to action. Roll and throw on the run. He's got a man out there, and a big hookup right there. Well-timed Mark Collins with the grab. First down, Wolfpack. They'll put the football at the 34. Another look.
Watch this roll out here on the run. Perfect shot. Perfect pass down there to Collins.
And let me correct myself. The rotating quarterback scenario is alive and well, and that was Cole Bendel with the strike, rolling out and firing a bullet for that first down. Right side running, well contained. In speaking with Coach Milgram during the week, track had not been getting as many touches as they would like to have him get. And it looks like there's a concerted effort tonight to make certain that that total goes up.
Well, I also see he didn't waste any time to get number 14, Cole Bendel, the young junior, big, strong kid, right-hander, into the ball game. So now here you are at the early start of the game, and you're defending against a left-hander, and now you're defending against a big, strong right-hander.
Under center, short drop. He looks left and guns it out there. A high strike hauled in and a broken tackle. Look out, go the distance. Touchdown Wolfpack, as again Mark Collins, their leading receiver, hauls it in and goes for the score from 34 yards out. Lightning strikes twice.
Well, Bendel is getting protection, Will, and he sets himself up well. And I know they're giving all the time and effort and give Frierson, the senior, first shot. As you notice, Coach Milgram is non-hesitant to bring Bendel in.
Now for the PAT, blocked at the line of scrimmage. It was a low kick and a miss. But the hosts are on top and break out with a 6-0 lead on homecoming night, and they do it through the air as you see the C train take it home. We'll be right back.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
Welcome back. We're set for the Wolfpack kickoff, and Coach Milgram's switching quarterback sure paid off with Bendel. Short kick, bounding inside the 20, bobbled around, and looks like an apparent fumble recovery by host Cosumnes Oaks. A kickoff poorly handled, and the right man on the spot, Pierre Scott, number 7. Boy, oh boy, there he is there, number 7. And they are set up beautifully. Let's take another look at the mishandle of that kickoff. So the football parked at the 18-yard line. There you see Scott, and here we go. Frierson back in, throws for the end zone, and a crowd broken up. He had 2 receivers in the vicinity. Not sure which one was the primary.
Well,
Collins was one of them.
They were pretty well covered by that secondary that time, and all 3 receivers ran deep routes. Collins, Hilassi, and they had another receiver down there with them, almost within 10 yards of one another, Will. That made it easier for that secondary with Esparza, Jennings, and Fertig. And they're getting some help now. Here you see them in a 3-deep zone with it look like they're matched up underneath with a little man under. I'm saying 3-deep zone right now with man under.
They run the football inside. Pretty good line surge and a nice opening there for track. And they push ahead inside the 15-yard line. We'll put it 3rd and 6 from the 14. Cosumnes Oaks trying to capitalize on a key fumble recovery following their kickoff. It's 6-0 Wolfpack, threatening here to deliver a 1-2 punch and really put some distance between them and the Tigers.
Well, I'm amazed how he rotates his quarterbacks every series here.
Frierson looking, lob for the right corner. Touchdown Wolfpack. A leaping grab in a crowd. Lassie. So Frierson a TD pass and Bendel a TD pass. This one, Frierson to Hilassi from 14 yards out. (12-0). They go for the standard PAT and got it. Well, the passing attack is starting to click, and here's the second time it works for a TD. Frierson this time doing the honors. We'll be right back.
So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. The immune system weakens with age. Ask about a flu vaccine option made specifically for us. Visit ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor about vaccine options for people 65 and older.
Brad Morehouse with the kickoff. It's high but short, coming to the near side and taking it, backing up by one of the up returners, and that is shut down handily. But above average field position upcoming for the Roseville Tigers after the return by Susbilia. So they spot the football outside the 30. We'll call it the 31. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their 31, trailing it here 13-0, 3:40 left, late first.
Well, the Tigers have got to respond. In the course of 1 minute, they gave up 2 touchdowns.
Turn and give, left side running, big hole. And it looks like just enough for a first down. It might be pretty close. Nice solid running there by the big back. And I'll tell you, he's a load, Alex Evans.
Oh, he certainly is, and he's all of 225, and once he gets rolling like that, he's a vertical runner. He gets up north, south, and I think you're going to see more of that, where Roseville has a shot. They got a decent front, and George, Mazalanka, Garcia, Rayback, and Jones can get off the football. He can run inside those tackles.
Gain of 10, first down. Motion in the backfield for the Tigers. Turn and give. Evans again. They blast forward. They punch out a hole good enough to cross the 45. Make it to the 47. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. So tonight, the emphasis will be the run game for the Tigers. Their bread and butter. With the 2 backs, going to see a lot of action.
Well, they pretty much have to, because when you look, Alvis hasn't had much work at quarterback. He's young, with their starter out with concussion protocol.
Inside reverse is going nowhere.
Number 22.
They did not bite on that play. And Susbilia got stuffed. And they lose a little bit here. The football parked at the 46-yard line. We'll call it 3rd and 5.
Well, they ran that counter with Susbilia, faking the ball to Evans, whom you figure Evans is going to have 20 carries plus tonight. And that counter was a good call, but they closed the hole in a hurry.
Actually closer to 3rd and 6. You see the twin backs behind Alvis under center. Turn and give. Evans blasted. Nice tackling effort by 3 of the Wolfpack. And in on that, Dakota Van Dyke, 33. We're going to call his number a lot. And he got some good help there from Elijah Offray.
Don't be surprised if Roseville, with almost 2 yards, big 1.5 yards to 2 yards to go, unless they quick kick, Will. And don't sell that part short, but unless they quick kick, why, they're not going to give the ball back to the Wolfpack.
They need 3 for a first down. Backs are split behind Alvis. Turn and give. A mix up in the backfield, and disaster. Wow. Somebody went to the wrong spot, and it was a collision. And the Wolfpack closed in a hurry. A loss on the play, and the ball goes over.
Well, there's a lot of confusion on that play. Who goes where, who's pulling. Let's take a look at that. There you see the handoff. Both backs thought they were getting the football. Now, I'm assuming one was supposed to be either faking or be the lead back. There you have those mistakes that Coach Cunha was talking about that has hurt them in their first 4 outings, Will.
Well, certainly another one to learn from, but it sets them further behind. Meantime, Bendel back on the field at quarterback for the Pack. He fires left, low strike, caught. Nice move and a cut inside. Look at that shifty running. Well,
Wow.
I'll tell you, Jeremiah Moore did some stepping right there and motored for a first down through heavy traffic.
Wow, very impressive. Very impressive. Where did Jeremiah go? Inside, outside. We look at that, you'll see some stop and go and some great footwork on the part of wide receiver Jeremiah Moore, number 5.
Gain of 12. Football parked at the Roseville 34. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. That has been controlled by the Wolfpack.
Once again in the hands of Bendel.
Out of the gun. Fire right, quick hitch. A duck move by Perkins, trying to shake loose and cannot, as that play is finished off hard by Jackson Esparza, number 9.
Well, good coverage by that secondary and linebacker core of Roseville on that. Great coverage.
So they lose a couple. They move the football back to the 36-yard line. 2nd and 12.
Esparza was all over that.
4 seconds. They may not get off another play here, and they do not. We have played one here from Cosumnes Oaks High School. It's homecoming night for the host Wolfpack, and they lead it 13-0 after one quarter. Let's check in with Rick Stewart.
All right, I'm here with Kayla Perez, the homecoming dance commissioner. Tell me what you do, Kayla.
So for the homecoming football game, what we do is we show the class floats that were out, and we will announce who won for the class float, and then we also put the people who won for the homecoming court, the king and queen, will announce them, and we also say who the juniors and the sophomores and the freshmen that won for the prince and princess.
Now, your class of 19, correct? Junior this year. Are you going to carry a bigger load next year?
I hope next year to run for senior governor, so hopefully I will carry a bigger load and, yeah, bring more to the school.
All right, Kayla, thanks for spending a minute with me. Thanks for having a good time tonight, too.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back up to you.
Okay, thank you, Rick. We've played one here at Cosumnes Oaks High School, and a good start for the hosts. The Wolfpack out to a quick 13-0 lead, and they've got the football on the move again as they switch ends. Turn and fake. Bendel to throw, has all night. Now flushed, runs, shakes it, and throws on the run. Wide open, right sideline, dropped. That was rather difficult to believe, and tough luck for Corey Perkins. Well, I guess
maybe we get another look at that.
That was all the way across the field, and I didn't really see how close he was to the sideline. Perkins looking on.
Yes, can we let's have another look. Look downfield. Bendel goes deep here, flushes the pocket, and goes down the field.
Corey Perkins wishes he had that one back. Meantime, Bendel wants to throw again, steps away from traffic, gets caught and sacked outside the 40. Big defensive stop there for the Tigers.
Well, I think you're going to see the Tigers gamble more, particularly when you're playing a three-man front and have 5 linebackers, even though they use 1 or 2 in coverage when they're going man under with 3 deep. And it looks like Cosumnes is not going to fool around here. They're going to put the ball deep in the hands of Roseville and play good, solid defense here.
Well, they lost 6 on that, bringing up a 4th and 18 from the 42. So Bendel into punt. Toward the right sideline, they let it roll, and it takes a pretty good Wolfpack skid out of bounds. The single safety back there was Ben Furtick, but he was unable to range over and even try to return that. So an effective punt to open the second quarter, and it pins the Tigers back with poor field position.
Well, I like the philosophy of Coach Milgram here. He's sitting on a 13-0 lead. His team is playing pretty decent defense, so why not put the Tigers in a hole, and perhaps they can come up with a turnover and get a defensive score.
They are in a hole from their own 6-yard line. Out of the gun, Alvis. Turn and give, and again, Evans getting pounded. He's going to be the workhorse tonight. Short yardage again, nothing much to speak of. Alex Evans, a tough inside runner. And shaken up on the play for Cosumnes Oaks, one of their top linemen. And we hope that's nothing serious for Isaiah King. They lose a yard on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 11 from the 5. And I won't even want to speculate about the injury. But this will give us a chance. Well, I tell you, Coach Domino, we've heard a lot about injuries all around the section, and Larry Acuna's crew has been hit real hard. Now certainly something for Coach Derek Milgram to be concerned about. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the weekly rankings provided by the Imperator. Domino's dozen this week.
All right, as we look at our new Domino dozen for this week, we've got Folsom once again leading the pack, number 1, as they keep winning over Wood Creek. Oak Ridge, unbeaten Oak Ridge right on their tails, and Intercom 3 racking up a ton of points. Rockland right there at 4. Granite Bay meeting Folsom tonight as we speak. Sacramento number 6. Franklin and Sheldon meeting up tonight, and we'll settle at 7 and 8. Del Oro at 9, losing a tough game to Granite Bay. Del Campo and Grant. Then the secondary, the red zone, River Valley, Whitney, Elk Grove, Jesuit, Capital Christian, Placer, Yuba City, and new in the red zone at 5-0, Bear River.
Well, a tough loss for the Wolfpack. King to the sideline with an injured left hand. Back to action. Motion in the backfield for the Tigers. Alvis wants to throw. Bang! He got sacked so fast, nobody saw it coming, and that was a beautiful job. Dakota Van Dyke.
He's had a huge year. Well, coming into the ball game with 57 tackles, and you see him come from the blind side and really nail Alvis.
Watch how fast he closes ground here.
Wow. As we take another look, you'll see the pressure coming from the backside. And you see Alvis back to pass, and here he comes real hard, right through the blocker. Van Dyke, like I said, one of the top linebackers in the city.
Yeah, right about now, Mr. Alvis is wondering what fell on him, and he did not see it coming from the blind side. So excellent pass rush, called a little blitzy there at the right time, and it paid off. And so far, the Wolfpack has had the upper hand in every regard.
Well, very definitely. They've been in control of this football game. And certainly,
so the safety is just one more touch of splendid play tonight for Derek Milgram's ball club. Van Dyke on Alvis like a rash and a flash. So 2 points on the safety plus the free kick, and the Wolfpack will get the ball back now, leading 15-0.
And having to kick from the 20 is going to cost them field position again.
Short pooch to the far side, bobbled but grabbed. Collins finds a hole and scores. Look out! Goodbye, baby! Mark Collins. Approximately a 70-yard kick return. Boy, did he turn it on when he saw the daylight.
Well, there was a huge lane there that he stepped it up. And when we see that, he flew by the Foothill defenders. I mean, flew by. It just he left him. And I'll tell you, he explodes. And certainly there's a ton of speed on this Cosumnes ball club, Will. And as they, I know it's early in this football game, but boy, they've got some people who can really light them up.
For the PAT, blasted high and far and on the money. So quick striking, here we go. There's how they do it, big time speed, and the score is now 22-0. It's homecoming night, and the Wolfpack is rolling.
Hi, I'm Matt Martin, and I've had my fair share of bruises and injuries. But for many who put their lives on the line every day, it's not always the injuries you can see that hurt the most. Every single day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. When medications and therapy don't help, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane has created a free guide to help veterans obtain these life-saving animals. For help, please go to AmericanHumane.org.
Right now, host Cosumnes Oaks is pouring it on early here on homecoming night, jumping out to a 22-0 lead here in the first minute and a half of the second quarter. And this is now or never time basically for Larry Cunha's Tigers. If they want to get back into this game, they're going to have to show some offense on this possession. Kickoff short, taken at the 12. Far side running. Furtick breaks loose and finally dropped on the far hash mark, crossing the 45. So that's exactly what the Tigers needed to jumpstart this possession.
Furtick with a great kickoff return, putting the Tigers for a change in decent field position there on the 47-yard line. That's a great return. They need a good shot in the arm, Will. And certainly here, we're early in the second quarter, and it's important for the Tigers to respond.
Larry Cunha looking at his playlist, and nice word for Big Ben Furtick with the key run back to set up the Tigers where they now have it in good field position, working from their own 47. Out of the gun, we see motion in the backfield. Long count, Alvis turn and give, blasting up the middle, finding a big hole and driving for 15 or 16. Well, we talked about him at the outset. He is one tough back to stop. And Mr. Evans is making his presence known.
Well, I'll tell you what, a couple of the Wolfpack jumped on his back, okay? And he carried him another 5-6 yards and didn't even charge him for car fare.
From the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Don't take a taxi. Still out of the gun. Alvis trying to generate something here, but whistles are going to blow this play dead. Ray
on the
Pulley.
defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Wow, careless mistake. And a 5-yard bonus for the Tigers as the football is advanced to the Cosumnes Oaks 34.
Well, encroachment, and now you see that Kyle Alvis can mix up his snap count a little bit here and maybe draw a few more offsides or encroachment on the D.
1st and 5, turn and give. Evans hit in the backfield and dropped by 3 of the Wolfpack. Not that time.
Well, a couple of the Wolfpack slowed him down, Will, and then they were able to bring him down with 3 or 4 guys. That's what you got to do. You got to penetrate in the backfield against this big guy, and he's the real deal. It looked like Sam Adame slowed him down a little bit, and then 2 more helped him out now as we got 2nd and 6.
Defensive end Ryan Rayleigh also in on that stop. Nope. The delay, boy, tough runner right there as Evans does squirt through and pick up a couple extra, but it's going to bring up a third down scenario here that the Tigers are going to need to convert.
All right, here's a handoff. It looks like they have him stopped for no gain, and watch him slimmer through and stay balanced, stumble bum forward another 3 yards. Give credit to Alex Evans. Never give up. He picked up about 3 or 4 after contact, and now we're in a third and approximately 4.5 yards.
Alvis this time under center, split backs behind him, and whistles again, stop play. And it looks like a timeout taken here. It comes at the we have already seen a couple players shaken up, and most notably for Cosumnes Oaks, tough luck injury there that we saw Isaiah King coming off the field. But Larry Cunha's Tigers have been riddled with injuries this season, Jim.
Well, they certainly have. As you look at that injury, what we call the injury epidemic, why, if you look at that list of Baker, Ledesma, Liborn, Cahomi, Alvis, King, Jordan, Nicholas, hopefully quarterback Nicholas will come back. He's been out for several weeks with concussion protocol, and the others are out for a limited amount of time, hopefully none for the season, where perhaps the largest injury list I think that Coach Cunha has had in quite a while. So coming and going, and hopefully he expects to get a couple of them back.
A total of 28 games missed by key players. It certainly is a continuity buster and a chemistry buster, if nothing else. So here we go, 3rd and 4. Esparza down the line and resets. Inside running. Jennings with the carry, but he got stymied early on and tried to struggle ahead, but he's going to be shy.
Well, he appears a good yard shy, and right now the defensive front of Duncan Andrews, Allen, and Rayleigh seem to be getting penetration on that offensive unit of Roseville. And it really tough. They had penetration at the handoff almost, and there was nowhere for him to go.
No, they are getting off the ball very well. And right now, moment of decision for Coach Cunha and the Tigers. 4th and 2 from the Wolfpack 31 as we near midway second. Right now, 22-0. Cosumnes Oaks in command. Turn and give. Nice hole off the right side, and it looks to be enough for a Tigers first down. Well, Evans again.
Well, Evans saw a crease. It looked like he bounced it quickly outside, and he saw that running lane and took advantage of it, gaining about 2. They only needed 1, and they're moving the chains. And Roseville desperately, I would say, with 7 minutes on the clock, needs to score to even think about staying in this football game.
Compulsory, mandatory situation to answer. They need to have a scoring response here to still compete in this one. Out of the gun, Alvis backs up, big rush. He unloads and has a man. Nice emergency toss, and that was very calm and very cool under adverse conditions to Cecilia.
Well, yes. I watch him there setting up for the screen. It's Cecilia in there, and I don't see any blockers in front of him, and he gets detained right in the open field. I don't know if the blockers left for downfield or whatever. They didn't get quite what they wanted on that screen. I like the call.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3 as they keep the drive alive with 6:43 to go. Here, midway second. Out of the gun, turn and give, and not this time for Evans. Breaking through, doing a beautiful job. Khalif Lassie with the stop. They lose on the play. Another look at this defensive effort. Bang, right there. Nice, sure tackling, good technique, good foot drive, and he wrapped him up with both arms. So they lose Well, actually no gain. They're going to mark it 3rd and 3, still from the 22. And a battle in the trenches is continuing to unfold. To the corner, overthrown. Alvis had to unload in a hurry.
Well, certainly, if you look at that play again, it's almost like there's screen blocking up front. I mean, the doors were wide open. Esparza defending on that. Let's look at this line blocking. Watch this. Look at the pressure that he's under.
Esparza, the intended receiver, Collins right there with him, and Alvis just had to unload on that play. Incomplete.
Well, he's faced with a 4th and must here, Will. 4th and a good +7. Obviously, they're going for it.
I'm looking for him to go to Ben Baker. Throw for the end zone. He's got a man out there. A leaping grab. Touchdown, Tigers, as they hook up David Chambers with the grab on a pinpoint strike from Alvis.
Well, that was well thrown. Chambers ran to the football, never gave up. Actually, it's pretty good coverage down there, but right in the hands of Chambers. That's the best ball Alvis has thrown all night, Will, right there.
No doubt. They're on the board just when they needed it the most. As they pull within 22-6 at the 5:47. High snap, blocked. Bad mechanics.
Let's have another look at that touchdown. Watch him back Alvis.
Nice strike by the QB. Stay with us, things tightening up. We'll be right back.
What about my privacy?
It's protected.
And the music I listen to. Protected.
What about how I wear my hair?
And the things I say and write?
The Constitution protects your rights.
It isn't an old, fading piece of paper.
It's a living document.
The Constitution says there are 3 branches of government.
So we're kind of like the 4th branch of government.
We are the future of America.
Find out how you could become part of Constitution Day.
For me.
For all.
For real.
Constitution Day is every day.
Well, there you see the bottom line, a 22-6 lead for host Cosumnes Oaks on homecoming night. They led it 22-0, but a concerted effort by the Tigers to drive the football, and they cashed it in. Alvis, a beautiful strike to Chambers from 22. So here's the kickoff. Wayner, a bounding kick, and it goes to the far side. Gets past Collins, and he's back to track it down at the 2. Coming to the near side, nowhere to go. Spun down inside the 5. A special teams blunder there. And more new life being pumped into Roseville. They're going to spot the football. Not much room to work.
Well, no, once for the first one of the few times tonight thus far in the first half that Roseville has Cosumnes down deep in their own territory. We haven't seen that tonight. And let's see if they can play some defense here and force a punt, because we've got plenty of time remaining in the second quarter, Will. And Roseville would love to get the ball back if they can play some defense here.
Under center, Frierson back in, he hands off. Nice running room, up the gut, Pierre. A bigger back than Track, and he can pack the pigskin. So Pierre Scott motors out to the 20.
Let's have a look. Here you see the handoff. Here you see the pulling tackle missing his block, but still Scott gets up the field and moves the chains, giving Track a break.
Dion Jennings with the stop. Back to action on first down, a gang tackle. Maybe a yard or so. Track was spun down crossing the 20. So they're going to give him a yard, make it 2nd and 9 from the 21. Clock rolling at the 4:50, flip side of quarter number 2. And we're delighted to have you with us this evening on a brisk evening, a nice breeze out here in Elk Grove, and top-notch high school football on homecoming night for the hosts here, Cosumnes Oaks. And the Wolfpack front running right now, 22-6. They've controlled the game from the outset. Frierson turns and gives. Short yardage again. And they're going with Pierre Scott on the last couple of carries.
Well, I think they, Track isn't injured. They got to give him a break. He's not that big of a guy. He's a great running back, and it's early in this football game, and certainly if they don't have a lot of depth at that position, he's given Track a break by using Scott in there, who's a pretty decent back, a lot bigger back. And I see that coach is with this 22-6 lead now, using some substitutes here early in the second quarter. Probably go back to his first unit players more in the third quarter.
3rd and 8 from the 22, and whistles are going to halt this play. A late signal for a timeout by the Roseville Tigers. It comes at the 3:47 here. Late second quarter, and we'll step back and exhale. Don't wander off. Lots more to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Beautiful evening out here in Elk Grove. Temperature at 68, nice and cool. Slight wind factor and clear visibility. And this is a busted down as whistles are going to prevent play here. We saw movement in both lines. Encroachment by
penalty.
Roseville.
Still 3rd down.
There was a 5-yard gift. Make it 3rd and 3 now from the 27, and after this play we'll bounce it down to Rick Stewart for an update from field level. 3:47 to go, late second. Good crowd on hand, particularly for host Cosumnes Oaks on homecoming. Turn and fake over the middle. That's a completion. Look out. Big running room for Jeremiah Moore. Chased down the sideline. A cutback. He's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Jeremiah Moore on a 73-yard aerial connection from Frierson. Well, he has made his mark on 2 big plays. Jeremiah Moore, one in the first quarter and that one just now, but we'll wait for clarification from referee Ray Pulley. So neutralize the touchdown. Tough luck for Moore and the Wolfpack. Ray Pulley.
A personal foul on the offense. Defenseless player, 15 yards from the spot of the foul, results in a 1st down.
Well, that'll get you in good with your boss. Don't know who committed the personal foul, but costly as it negates a scintillating pass catch touchdown. Rick Stewart, what you got, buddy?
Injury update from the CO sideline. Isaiah King came off with an arm injury. It's wrapped. He's got ice on it, and they're saying that he's probably not going to be coming back into the game. They're not sure exactly the extent of it, but he's out for the rest of the night.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, we saw him coming off the field with the trainer holding his right arm. It looked like a hand injury, but here we go. Frierson has a hookup. It's Moore. Cannot get past the initial containment. And nice secondary tackling out there by Rich Porter.
Well, Rich Porter's been the leading tackler this year, Will, and certainly they need him in this contest. And there you see both Frierson and Bendel going to those elusive wideouts. Hilassi, Collins, Craig, and Moore. We haven't heard much about Craig tonight, but looking at the top of your screen, it's wide open.
Frierson, deep left corner, Hilassi, just overthrown on an excellent diving attempt by the Wolfpack wide receiver. Incomplete, 3rd and 2.
Well, right now, Cosumnes Oaks has the Roseville defense spread all over the field, okay? In order to try to at least limit the big plays out of Hilassi, Collins, Craig, Moore, etc. And it appears like they haven't run draw or screen in a while, and I can tell you right now, the way they've got Roseville spread out, they could be vulnerable.
3rd and 2. Scott in, track out.
Open it up, Porter. There you go.
Out of the gun. Frierson keeps, looks for somewhere to go, and cannot get away. It wasn't there. Sealed up beautifully. 54, Isaiah Jones.
Frierson was supposed to run the quarterback draw, following Scott into the line. But as you see, there was nowhere to go. Watch, he decides to go another place. There's penetration, and that quarterback draw did not work.
4th and 1 now, Jim.
Well, right now, without tracking out there, Scott, he can go to the short pass out of the backfield if he wants to, but it's wide open.
Under center, turn and give. Big room for Scott. He breaks free, sprint to the corner, cut it back, dropped inside the 5. Pierre, great Scott.
Well, I'll tell you, Scott hit the hole quick. Wow, did he hit that hole fast.
I saw him getting the pill on that one as they substituted. Let's take a look.
Yeah, he hits that on a quick, and darn near goes all the way, picks up a block right down to
1st and goal, football parked at the 3. Roseville facing a daunting challenge here. Trailing 22-6, turn, give,
Nowhere for Scott to go. Actually, great penetration in there by Gregory. And it looked like Gregory and Sospilia.
Make it 2nd and goal from the 3.
Clock winding down at 1:13. Plenty of time. Cosumnes does not have to be in any hurry here, Will. They'd like to finish this drive, score, and go to the half.
Here we go. Inside the 5. Frierson, a bullet on a slant. Incomplete. Clock stopping with less than a minute to go. Take another look. Okay, deep in the red zone, less than a minute. Clock rolling. Frierson throws, intercepted in the end zone. A long run back and caught from behind, going out over the 40. A defensive stand that may show up very big in this one. Clutch Tigers defense, something they have not had in previous games. Slammed the door on that bid, and credit 33 doing his job, Dion Jennings with the pick as he carries out to the 41. Not a good throw this time by Frierson. Right to the defender. Jennings said, "Thank you very much for this gift." And you see Collins tracking him down from behind, trying to get the poke away. So 44 seconds to go. Alvis rushed, throws on the run, got a completion, but immediately dropped Ben Furtick. Clock still rolling. Timeout on the field. .5 remaining in the half, and don't forget this is homecoming night for Cosumnes Oaks. As you see the Wolfpack huddle there during the timeout, their fantastic marching band will be coming out, and there will be, of course, the usual homecoming color and pageantry here at Wolfpack Stadium. Not before, however, we play the final 28 seconds. Roseville Tigers with the football at their own 44. 2nd and 7. Breeze is starting to pick up even more than an hour ago, and that could have a significant effect on the passing game and anything kicked in the air. However, I'm quite sure Roseville head coach Larry Cunha has been delighted to see a reversal in his club's performance. Here we go from the gun. Little Statue of Liberty thing there. Did not fool the Wolfpack.
A give to Suspia and the old, like you said, that behind the back Statue of Liberty, haven't seen for a while.
Incomplete on that throw that was nearly picked. Clock stopping with 12.6.
Well, their receivers seem like they're well covered, and it appears that Alvis is rushing even sometime without penetration on the D.
And we see down on the near sideline Isaiah King with the sling on his right arm, as Rick Stewart had reported the earlier injury to his right hand. So here we go, Alvis cranking it up. Deep left sideline to incomplete, well overthrown. And the receiver got jammed and was unable to get to the football. Clock stopping with 7 seconds remaining.
Well, Roseville has to be very careful. Have a look at King there getting treated by the trainer, working on his shoulder. And there he is in a sling.
And Mark Collins, number 2, one of their top touchdown makers, maybe a little bit of a shoulder situation there.
Yeah, King in a sling, and Mark Collins looks like he's nursing a shoulder injury here and trying to work it out.
So we got a first down upcoming for the Wolfpack. 7 seconds to go, maybe one play. Bendel flushed, steps up, buys some time, rolls, fires over the middle, incomplete. A diving try inside the 30 as the clock expires.
He had a man down in the end zone.
We have come to the close of the first half here, and the home team, Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack, enjoying the first half, leading at 22-6. Lots of festivities upcoming, and of course Rick Stewart will be down on the field interviewing our respective head coaches during the intermission. As we see on the far side, the marching band for the Wolfpack coming out, and I can only imagine what's in store for the spectators here regarding the homecoming ceremonies. Cosumnes Oaks had an opportunity really to put that game away, but unable to, and credit the Roseville Tigers for showing some kick. Rick Stewart down at field level. I think he's gathered head coach Derek Milgram of the Wolfpack. Let's bounce it down to Rick.
All right, Coach, first half, you rotated quarterbacks. How did that work for you first?
It's part of the plan. You know, we're getting both guys in. They're both doing some good things. And so that's just kind of doing what we do.
Okay, you jumped out to a big lead. Is that indicative of the offense you're running in that sense? I mean, are you going to continue in the second half with rotating quarterbacks, obviously?
I would assume we'll keep doing that. You know, we're off to a big lead because we're making some good plays. We're doing some good stuff. I think defense is playing well. Kind of gave up an opportunity right there at the end that, you know, turnovers are key, and we really got to limit them, and hopefully we don't have any more in the second half.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks for this. All right, guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Okay, Mr. Stewart, thank you very much. That's where we stand at the intermission. 22-6, the host, Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack on top on homecoming night. Don't wander off. Whole lot more to come on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
You can see the score there. CO in the lead at halftime, 22-6 on this homecoming night here at Cosumnes Oaks. Matt Wynn, vice principal here at CO. You got a big job just normally, but on a homecoming week, it's more. You got to oversee a whole lot of things.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of events happening this. We had our parade today. We had dress-up days every single day this week, including Tropical Thursday. That was like the favorite, I think. We have our dance tomorrow night. And then, of course, in a few weeks, we got to come back to it. We're going to have Powder Puff football.
Wow, nice. And I see you had the casual for administrators dress down, right?
Oh, absolutely. You got to dress comfortable when you're going to be at school all day.
Yeah, well, especially coming to Friday Night Lights, in the football. The school, I mean, you share the field. Is that difficult to organize? I mean, you've been athletic director and had to go through some of these things before, but as administrator, how difficult is that?
Honestly, both schools, they kind of understand what the system is, and as long as we communicate up front and we know exactly what each other's schedule's like, it really works out well. We have good people in the office that take care of the calendar for us, and so it's not a conflict at all most of the time.
Okay. As we said, you've been athletic director. You were original athletic director. You've been here since it opened. Which is difficult, going from athletic director into administration or the other way around, do you think?
They are both very different. There's no doubt about it. I think becoming an athletic director is probably the hardest part, just because the sheer magnitude of the job. And back then, we opened the school, we were in the middle of a recession, so financing was really difficult. So trying to convince your programs to be bigger than what they're supposed to be financially was really difficult. So it was kind of a unique situation. I think if I compared the two, that was harder then. Of course, I look at my job every day here as difficult, but that's kind of par for the course.
Well, the vice principal is kind of like the vice president. It's the attack person. The principal's got to stand back and go, yeah, it's okay. But, my vice principal is going to really take care of things.
I don't know. Our principal is very active in just about everything that happens on campus. So I think we share the load pretty evenly right now. We are a man down in terms of our administration. But honestly, I think we've done a pretty good job considering.
Next man up, the team takes over.
We're hoping it's pretty soon. We're hoping the next person's going to get in there and kind of take on some of the load.
Enrollment. How has enrollment been recently for the school?
Well, when we opened, we were only 600 students. And now we're at 2,400 students, so it has jumped up big time. We've kind of tailed off the last 3 years, honestly. We've been kind of in that 22, 23, 2,400 range. And so we're kind of settling into what we're going to look like, going forward.
As you've been in both positions, how difficult in this day and age is it to convince the student athletes that the grades are as important as any athletic ability you'll ever have?
What's nice is that we don't have to deal with that much at our school. Our students are outstanding scholars. They also do a great job on the field. But generally speaking, they have their priorities straight. They take care of their business. And, of course, at home, they're telling them they got to do their job in the classroom first. And so we don't really have as big of an issue as you might suspect at the high school level.
That's why the athletic director job was probably a little more defining rather than vice principal. It's a little softer because the organization and the whole setup.
Right, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Athletic director, I think all the rules are pretty, spelled out pretty clearly. And, of course, up in the office, it's not so clear. It's kind of murky. That's just the way it is.
Well, the higher you go, the murkier it gets sometimes, from what I've heard.
That sounds about right. There's no doubt.
What was the feeling on campus homecoming week and the game tonight? I mean, it was I hate to say it, a must-win game, but the spirit on campus. How did that reflect?
So, I'll address the must-win. Yeah, I think at this point, every win is a must-win, especially in this league. You don't know when you're going to show up sharp and when you're not. So when you get a chance to win, you got to do it. Yeah. In terms of the spirit on campus, I always gauge homecoming week by the amount of participation in our dress-up days. I mentioned that earlier. Yeah. Students came dressed in the theme every single day this week, and so you got to see that they were engaged in school, and that makes a difference.
That's outstanding, Matt. Well, it's been great to have you spend a few minutes with me and help me learn more about CO and how it works.
Absolutely. The great thing about the fall season is not just the weather, but it's also all the events that we have going on, and homecoming is kind of like that highlight. But we have more stuff going on. We have band concerts. We have our field show. Our band is great, and they're going to put on field show competitions here in the next month and a half. And, of course, we have our theater. They're going to get ready for a performance in 2 months. There's a lot going on, but that's what happens at these big schools.
That's it. That's all you can hope for. Really keep everybody busy.
Absolutely.
All right, Matt, thanks for spending some time with us. It's 22-6 at halftime. You can see the cheerleaders in the background. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk with the cheer coach here at Cosumnes Oaks, Roxanne Tyler, after the break. 22-6, CO in the lead at halftime. Thanks again to Matt Wynn for spending a couple of minutes with us.
You bet. Go Pack.
All righty. We'll be right back after this break.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Your teenager, naturally pushing the rules to their limits. When they push too far, call the Boys Town National Hotline at 800-448-3000. Our trained counselors are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide advice and resources for problems big or small.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
All right, halftime score 22-6. Cosumnes Oaks in the lead over Roseville. Roseville with a late touchdown to narrow the gap a little bit. It is homecoming, and we do have the cheerleaders that were out here. The homecoming court is making their procession down the track to the cheers of their fellow students. You can see, and you know it's a tremendous thing that's going on. The spirit here at Cosumnes Oaks. And we've got here Roxanne Tyler, the cheer coach here at Cosumnes Oaks. Roxanne, your group out there was tremendous watching them.
Thank you very much. We worked very hard. Thank you.
Now, how many people in the program, both at all the levels?
All the levels, we have 43.
43 student athletes. I mean, they're as much of an athlete as any football player, any basketball player, definitely. How long on average do most of these student athletes work at their craft, and how early did they start?
We go 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 3 hours a day, and then you have Fridays at football games.
And when did most of them start with the idea that this is what I want to do, or this is something I can do?
I've had some of them all the way since they came in here, their freshman year. I've had some of them for 4 years.
Now, is there a junior program as well in the area, the community?
Yes, there is the junior Wolfpack that a lot of them are recruited, and I bring a lot of them over here.
And how long have you been here with the program?
I've been here, this is my 6th year.
Okay, and changes that you've seen, benefit, the improvement, how would you describe that?
A great improvement. You know, I'm very much more competitive. A lot more. It's a lot of competitiveness. We have about 100 cheerleaders that try out, 100 athletes that try out.
Homecoming night, it's always a special night, isn't it?
It's great. It's a great night. I have 2 girls right now that are going out for Queen.
Oh, really? Two of the cheerleaders? Oh, well, there's our favorites, obviously. Now, how does this relate to your homecoming? I know how it does to mine.
Wow, you know what? This is nothing like my homecoming. We didn't have parades, and we didn't have any of this stuff. This is great.
We had rain on my senior homecoming, and it was just a mess.
You know what? I think I had snow at mine.
Well, you know, that's something you really can't, try and avoid if that's the case. I mean, you're gonna deal with weather the way wherever it is. But this is a tremendous night. Your squad did a tremendous job. Do you take part in competitions?
You know, at this moment, the school's a little bit early. It's a little bit young. We're only 8 years old. So I think probably you'll see us probably in the next 2 or 3 years going to competition.
Outstanding. Well, Roxanne, thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us. All right, guys, we're going to take a break here. It's halftime. 22-6, CO in the lead over Roseville. We'll be right back.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
We are in the midst of a homecoming intermission here at Cosumnes Oaks High School. It's been a very festive atmosphere, lots of energy on homecoming night, and host Cosumnes Oaks on top, 22-6 over visiting Roseville on the hometown sports game of the week. And certainly, Coach Jim Domino, lots of interesting topics being discussed in the respective locker rooms.
Oh, very much. And when you consider that rotation, the quarterback rotation that Coach Milgram is using, it seems to be very effective. He comes in with the left-hander, Frierson starting the ball game, and then quickly on the next series with Bendel. So that defense, even though we're saying, hey, this isn't baseball, first they see a right-hander and then a left-hander.
Well, Rick Stewart has more for us from down on the field, and it's all about homecoming. Rick?
Alrighty, I'm here with the homecoming queen. Tell me your name.
My name's Yudochi Banu.
Now, did you think this was going to happen this way tonight, or did you know that Fix was in?
No, I did not see it coming.
Okay, what class are you in?
Senior year 2018, class of 2018.
All right, that's good. That's good. Now, is your homecoming king? I mean, you know, you're good friends with him on campus?
Yeah, for sure. We're best friends. We've been best friends since 7th grade.
So now, tell me how all this works. I didn't go very far like that. Was this like a couple that was voted on, or were you voted individually? He was voted individually. It just happened to work out that way.
Pretty much, our whole class votes for each couple, and then we won. Also, 3 other couples won, and then today the whole school pretty much voted, and then we won.
Outstanding. Well, congratulations on being homecoming queen.
Thank you.
All right, homecoming king. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Did you expect this?
I mean, I sort of expected the possibility of this happening, but I didn't think our chances were likely.
Well, that's outstanding. You can put this on your resume.
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, congratulations on being homecoming king and homecoming queen. Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me. Congratulations, and go forth and rule your school. All right, guys. Thank you. All right, guys. We'll send it back upstairs to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. Certainly a very proud and happy homecoming couple there, Queen and King, being crowned here at Cosumnes Oaks High School tonight.
Yeah, very definitely. As we get back to this ball game here, apparently Coach Milgram will stay with that rotation. I see him staying with it, with a left-hander and a right-hander. Really, young Bendel is impressive. He's a big guy and stays in the pocket well, but they have a core of receivers. They're getting decent protection up front from Porter King, etc. And all they have to do is get the ball in the hands of these wideouts.
Let's see if they're able to accomplish that. We see that Rick Stewart has gathered Roseville head coach Larry Cunha as the Tigers come back onto the field following their halftime discussion. I wonder what Larry's got to say. Rick?
Second half. I mean, first half impression.
They're awfully talented for us to make mistakes and give them more opportunities than they need, and so we've got to take care of the ball and not allow easy opportunities for them. Their skilled people are fairly talented and explosive.
How do you think your defensive secondary matched up against their speedy wide receivers?
Well, we did a nice job on that last drive to not give up any points and come away with an interception. I thought that was big to keep it a competitive situation. So defense played well there. We need to have a couple more stops and finish a couple drives.
How about Evans inside running the ball? I mean, that's a big thing.
Yeah, no, he's our guy that's going to pound the ball a little bit, but we've got to pick up the linebackers that are coming underneath. That's something we talked about at halftime with our offensive line having our heads up.
What's the one key?
The ball. Value the ball.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. All right, guys, we'll send it back upstairs to you.
Thank you, Rick. Yes, key is always a huge part of the game plan. What's the key? Well, I think both coaches have gone back to fundamentals now. Protect the football. Don't make mistakes. Certainly no unforced turnovers. And focus, still the primary concern of these coaches.
Very definitely, Will. You know, we look at that scoreboard with a 22-6 differential. When if you put 9 quick points on the board there via safety and via kickoff return, and it they had a kick from the 20 following the safety. So 9 points were scored in 1 minute. 9 points were scored in 1 minute. So if you take that 9 away from there, that gets them down to, 13-6 perhaps. I'm not saying this is all part of the game, but we're looking at the scoreboard 22-6. Yes, Cosumnes is dominating the stats, but actually we could have a closer game if you take that 9 quick points away.
Yeah, and the costly fumble on the kickoff to set up Cosumnes Oaks. In fact, they did let one golden opportunity slip through their fingers that could have padded their lead even more. But I like where it's at right now. I think it's pretty even with the scoring on the board right now. And again, in the first half, we saw Derek Milgram's alternating quarterback system, and they both had their moments. We're talking about Larry Frierson and Cole Bendel. And I think it's indicative of this offense, the way these two quarterbacks have alternately played the position, and I just admire the way they have spread out the wealth to a wonderful core of 6 different receivers. That's difficult to do, to keep them all happy, yet they're all in the mix.
Absolutely, Will. They all seem satisfied. They're not counting the numbers. All they're doing is looking at the scoreboard. And to spread it around, look at this. Collins Moore lead these receivers. They got 50 catches this year going in, and they showed why that stat you're seeing up there now is important, and they've carried it through this game as well. Now, they ran track early in the first quarter, but suddenly they went to the passing game in the second quarter.
They did, and they've got the receivers to be a very dangerous threat. That's what Larry Cunha was talking about at the half. Hy Lassie, Corey Perkins, Mark Collins, Nick Craig, Elijah King, and Jeremiah Moore. I mean, that's a pretty scary unit right there of speedy wide receivers, and the two quarterbacks are really thriving.
Well, very definitely. They got to get the ball in their hands, and all these 5-6 receivers you name are dangerous after the catch. They have speed to burn. They have moves to burn. There's a lot of them run like running backs, really, and I would think they'd give any opponent serious problems on any night that they give protection to their quarterbacks.
I fully agree. I believe this is a very crucial time in the football game as we're preparing to open the second half. Roseville stopped that Wolfpack momentum. They got a score on the board, and they are going to receive the second half kickoff. And I think it's important for us to see exactly how the Wolfpack refocuses on the second half of play after all this color and pageantry for homecoming.
Well, it's very important. This opening drive for Roseville to get a decent kick return and get the ball in decent field position. They gave up field position by refusing to punt in the first half, Will, and that refusal to punt gave a very short field for Cosumnes to drive. And when you're giving an opponent a short field to drive, it makes it much easier to score, of course, and you're giving up field position.
Boy, no kidding. Well, Brad Morehouse set to kick off for the Wolfpack. Deep to receive for the Tigers. Jackson Esparza 9, Ben Furtick number 4. And we are mere moments away from the start of a second half of a key CVC matchup. High but short. Furtick inside the 15-yard line, straight up the middle of the field, blasted hard and knocked down, crossing the 25.
Well, that's a big hit in there. That's great coverage down the field.
So the football spotted just across the 25. I do believe Pierre Scott had some excellent coverage and part of that tackle. Tigers set to work from their own 26, trailing it here 22-6. Out of the gun, Alvis turn and give, and they continue to follow the same pattern with the short yardage running game from Evans to complement Alvis's passing game.
Well, I agree with Coach Cunha. He mentioned something very, very really strong. He said that he can't keep the linebackers off that running back, and that core of linebackers, they have Van Dyke, Adame, and Pierre Scott, seemingly are in that backfield constantly for the Wolfpack.
Boy, they sure are. Second and long, second and 9 after gain of 1. Turn and give. Bouncing outside Evans, but cannot get away and dragged down from behind. A nice tackling effort there to string that play out, and Khalif Hailasi with the solo stop.
Well, again, seems like we're saying it over and over again, a key third down situation, a third and a long 5, Will. And once again,
yes, parabolic is being working.
It would seem that I haven't seen that 5-yard stop, the slant in. I haven't seen anything short yet out of the Roseville Tigers.
Key 3rd and 4. They run off right tackle, and it does not get the job done. Tough Evans unable to find daylight, and he's stacked up, bringing up 4th down and still about 4, like no gain on the play. So the Tigers show punt formation in the person of Wayner, and twin returners dispatched for the Wolfpack, Collins and Hailasi, and he takes it on 2 bounces outside the 30, works to the far side, steps away from traffic, and has a nice little run back that puts them in business near midfield.
Well, certainly Khalif Hailasi, very impressive athlete. He goes both ways as a wide receiver and a safety, and I can understand why the colleges are looking at him. He's very athletic, he's quick, he really protects the football, and he can play multiple positions. I like him both as a wide and a nice, really tall safety. So I'll tell you, whoever gets him is getting a good athlete.
First down from the Wolfpack 49. Great field position. Frierson turn, give, short yardage running into Tiger territory at the Roseville 48. We'll give him a gain of 3.
Well, this looks repetitious of the start of the football game where we saw track left, track right. Track left, track right. And once again, perhaps Coach Milgram likes this to start each half out and say, hey, defend our run game, and if we get you creeping in, then we're going big to our wides.
Jacob Track, as you see there, number 13, a real speed merchant and a game breaker. He's yet to shake loose for something big, but it's early. There he is, bouncing outside, slips a tackle, and a burst to the right sideline near the first down marker. Jacob Track is on the right track in the fast track.
Well, there you see him moving the chains. Watch him turn the corner, give. He bounces it outside and breaks a tackle and gets up the field, moving the chains once again. Once again, we've mentioned, here he is, the start of the second half, the first series. He has the first 2 touches.
Gain of 9 on that last play to register the first down. We're still early in the third. Frierson turn and give to Track. Contained pretty well. Still a nice bite though, as his progress gets him inside the 40, the 35 to the 34. Gain of 5.
What I like about this drive is they're letting their interior line up front, Porter, King, Fisher, Young, etc., open up the holes. The clock management is excellent with Track getting up the field, using the clock, defend the run game, and then get the ball to our wides.
Turn and give. This time they're all over him. Track cut down for no gain really. Dropped it at the 34. And we'll call it 3rd and 5 upcoming.
Jordan Suspilia with a nice stop there with a little help on that play. 3rd down and approximately 4. Roseville D's got to rise to the occasion here.
Frierson out of the gun now looks to the sideline and wants to check off. I do believe he's going to put the football in the air. Deep right sideline, wide open, taken on the dead run. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
Collins.
Mark Collins again stings the Tigers secondary, virtually unguarded on that play. A 34-yard aerial connection from Frierson. 28-6, and it comes at the 7:29 mark. On for the PAT. Brad Morehouse lining it up, chips it, and got it. We'll take another look, and as we go to break here, 29-6, and here's how Frierson and the Wolfpack get on the board again. Upstairs, the bomb. We'll be right back.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
I love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Well, low angle shot there from the Cosumnes Oaks turf here. 29-6 after the Pack just scored again. Going upstairs, Frierson to Collins. And now preparing for the ensuing kickoff. Twin returners stationed inside the Roseville 10. A high kick to the near side. And a pretty good run back taken there by the dependable Ben Furtick. So the Tigers open shop outside their 30-yard line, now trailing at 29-6 as we near midway third. And the Tigers in a very tough situation right now. They've dropped their first 4 games of the season, trying to find some continuity really without their starting quarterback, and it's been tough.
Well, it has been. You saw that injury list of Coach Cunha, and it's quite extensive, really. They may not get some of those kids back. This is the most they've had in years.
Evans in the backfield with Alvis. We see some motion there. Turn, give to Evans. Hit in the backfield and dropped by 2 tacklers. Tough on the run is the Wolfpack. That'll bring up 2nd and long. Clock rolling, 7:10 as we near midway third. And besides the one late second quarter flurry by the Tigers where they had a defensive stop and then got their TD, the whole show has belonged to the Wolfpack here on homecoming night.
Without a question, they've been dominating the stats as well as the scoreboard.
2nd and 7, but we saw movement, and whistles are going to bust this play. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Premature line jump, though, shown by the Wolfpack, and it's going to cost him 5.
Ball encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Say hey, Ray Pulley making the call. One of the veteran officials around the Sac Joaquin section. So instead of 2nd and 7, a gift of 5 makes it 2nd and 2. Football at the Roseville 39 as the Tigers creep out, but facing a 23-point deficit here in the 3rd. Wants to throw, Alvis. Nearly deflected, but caught on great concentration there to make that reception, and he couldn't be more thrilled about it. And that's Baker's first grab. Ben Baker stayed focused in concentration, disregarded the defensive play, and made that catch. First down, Tigers, as they move to their own 49, gain of 10.
Well, one of the few completions tonight by quarterback Alvis.
Evans, loose football, and a big pile up. The Wolfpack feels they have the pill, but we'll wait for the actual call. As Roseville dodges a cannonball, the Tigers making a key recovery there, and for now, we're going to credit the man on the spot, and that would be 74. So, 5:42, clock rolling, 2nd and 9 from the 49. He fakes, Alvis rolls, heavy pressure, got a man open, broken up on a late recovery. That play almost worked.
Trent Gannon with a great save there. You see him limping. I'll tell you, he saved the day. He had to wait on that ball. He was wide open.
Furtick definitely put the move, and we have a fallen cannonball. Another look. The play fake, and Alvis skirts. And then the recovery. What you got, Jim?
Trent Cannon with a great defense. Looks like he got his leg kind of caught up under that reception. Made a great save for the Wolfpack.
3rd and 9. Alvis keeps, runs, slides. Looks like first down yardage. So the KG quarterback comes through as he tricks the Wolfpack defense and scampers for a key gain that's going to put him, looks like a yard short, 4th and 1. Another look. A step up and sprint. He didn't quite get there.
Well, he gave him the mark on his hand. Apparently that was the first thing to touch the ground.
From the Wolfpack, well, that's an easy one there.
Well, look at that effort by Evans, yards after contact. Boy, he's a load inside.
He is one of the true old school inside between the tackles, blast you very much running back.
Oh, yeah.
He makes the 29-yard line with that first down carry. Clock continues to roll with 4.5 to go here in the 3rd. Baker comes out wide to the right with Furtick. Alvis looks that way. He swings it out of the backfield. Nice little pickup.
Well, I like that. Once again, a short pass, for instance. He throws that swing pass out to Sospidia, and he picks up about 4, maybe 5. And, you know, I haven't seen much of that tonight. And that's what they got to do. Nickel and dime him. Watch this now. He's got a swing out to number 23, Sospidia. He picks up about 5, maybe 6 here. They can do more of that, Will.
They come up looking at a 2nd and 6 from the Wolfpack 26. Alvis has him on the move. He fakes to Evans and keeps it, and gets ahead shy of a first.
Well, he got that on his own. I like to think that that was not a designed play, Will. If we saw that again, I think he missed the handoff and then took it upon himself to get up the field. I think that was a little mishandling of the football.
Well, there you see the split screen coverage. Derek Milgram on the left and 26-year head coach Larry Cunha of Roseville on the right looking on. Key third down. Turn and give. Evans blasting tacklers away.
Well,
barreling forward, nearly making the 10. First down, Tigers.
Well, when you look at this lineup, it's Evans, Evans, Evans. And even on the missed handoff to where Frierson picked up about 3, the big fella is moving the football. Watch Alex Evans, number 3. He gets hit. Hold on, look at the leg drive. Look at the leg drive, yards after contact.
Let's try it again. Blasting off tackle right inside the 10 goes Evans for a pickup of about 4. It's a sustained drive, but it is chewing the clock with the run plays. However, that right now is the strength of this Roseville offense, is the run game.
Well, they got to do what they got to do with Evans, and I can understand that with how hard he runs between the tackles. An occasional play-action pass off it where you're just trying to throw the short high percentage play. You don't have to go deep.
Hey, Christian. Testing. Testing.
A pitch from Alvis. Good hard running gets him near the 5-yard line.
Well, that's the first dive option that I've seen tonight. He faked Evans inside and pitched the ball to Suspiria outside, and that picked up about, looks like 6. Looks like 3rd and short down there.
Looks like 3rd and 3 here with 1.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Clock rolling. It's 29-6. Roseville desperately needs to cash in this drive. Under center, Alvis. Turn, give, Evans. Well, they had plenty of people at the point of attack and shut that down. Don't know if we made the first down yardage, but that was pretty good containment. And we have a fallen Wolfpack down at the 5-yard line. Certainly don't like to see that.
Well, I'll tell you, he probably ran into that bulldozer, Evans, and he appears to be a shade short. Wow, Dakota Van Dyke, their leading tackler is down there, and hopefully it's nothing serious as you see the trainers checking him out.
Well, that would be quite a blow if he's unable to continue. We're not even going to guess on the nature of the injury, but they're attending to his right leg. And the trainers from, well, let's take another look at that play and see if we can see how Van Dyke got tangled.
I watch the big fella Evans going inside. There's a lot of traffic, and it looks like perhaps Van Dyke got caught in the pile there, as you see 5, 6, 7.
That was a late reaction. He waited till the play was over and then kind of reacted to some a leg problem and just kind of fell down.
He's holding his knee.
Well,
Can't tell if it's a knee or ankle.
This is a serious loss right here. The top tackler on this Cosumnes Oaks defense being helped to the sideline. The right leg, ankle, or foot is in question, and we'll rely on Rick Stewart to get a key update on this injury.
I'm thinking more knee, but it could be anywhere from the ankle to the knee, the way he's keeping that knee totally still.
Meantime, the officials bring out the change to measure to see if Evans had enough for the first down, and he's going to be about 3 inches short. There, I saw that all the way from up here. So 4th and inches for the Roseville Tigers. And
All right.
one more time.
Let's take a look at this again. There are a lot of people.
See,
and
there's
then
33.
You see,
there it is. Left ankle twist, but he might have tweaked the knee in doing so. But he grabs for the foot. And we'll just not speculate much, see what we can get from Rick Stewart as the Tigers come up to the line with a key 4th and inches from the 3-yard line. Sneak by Alvis, and he's stacked.
well, his forward momentum, I think, got moved the chains, Will.
Yes.
Good second effort.
So it is 1st and goal from the 1. And we'll see what the Tigers want to do with this fresh set of downs. And the 3rd period rapidly expiring here at Cosumnes Oaks High School as the Tigers break huddle and hustle up to the line of scrimmage. They deploy quickly under center. Alvis, turn, give, Evans, right side, touchdown Tigers as Evans rambles in untouched. That brings the Tigers now within 29-12. And we'll probably see them set up and go for 2 with 37 seconds remaining here in the 3rd. There's been a definite break in the rhythm of this game. A couple of injuries have stopped play. But right now the Tigers trying to clean up 2 points on this conversion. Alves rolls, throws, wide open, easy money taken there in the corner. David Chambers with the 2, and as we go to break, we can see Alves and we can see Evans dance in. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
Well, the revitalized Roseville Tigers have pulled a wee bit closer, trailing now 29-14, and we'll see what they do on this kickoff. We got a surprise in it as we open. Another opportunity bobbled, but picked up on the dead run. Big alley straight up the middle. Show me some speed, dragging a tackler. Oh my goodness. That was quite a burst by Collins. And we will bounce it down to Rick Stewart for this update. Rick?
All right, I'm here with Mike Mangan, the band director here. Mike, tremendous the sound and look of the band.
Thanks. Oh, yeah. You know, they work really hard. We love to support the school, and so we love coming out here and just being spirited and root for the football team. It's awesome.
There's nothing better, Friday Night Lights with a band. It has to be a game.
Absolutely. You know, when I grew up in Florida, and we used to pack the stands and have everybody standing up all the time. So that's what we're trying to do right here. They're doing lots of spirit. They're playing all the time, trying to cheer for the crowd. It's awesome.
Mike, thanks for spending a minute with me. I wish we had more time to spend about all that the band is doing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, we're a competitive marching band, and we just love any support that people send our way. So thank you so much for the time.
All right, thanks, Mike. All right, we'll send it back upstairs. Will, Jim?
Thanks.
Well, thanks, Rick. Another casualty on the field. Roseville's injury totals are creeping up. We see the excellent Ethan Gregory being assisted off the field. Hope that is nothing more than a minor injury.
Well, Ethan Gregory is one of their 3 stalwarts up front with Howarth and Jones. And, so we'll see here. That was a great return. Look at the field position. Once again, Cosumnes with a very short field of drive. You know, you got about a 35-yard field, and that makes it a little easier to put a scoring drive in that short distance.
4 wide receivers set, but they run the football. Inside running, big room. To the corner. Boy, there is a dangerous man, and track deceptively strong and oh so quick and fast.
Well, track picked up 20 and plus, and most of it was on his own. But you know, watch the tackling in the open field. There's a give to track in here. He makes a great move. All right, he sheds a tackle there, breaks another tackle there. People are reaching and grabbing, and really they're not using their pads on him in the open field. They're not breaking down.
Whistles are going to halt this play. Roseville's defense looking winded. Time of possession in this game probably favors Cosumnes Oaks. And it could be a fatigue factor now hitting that Tiger defense.
Without a question. Without a question. And once again here, as we look at this, they're trying to get apparently the play clock set right.
Ray Pulley, our game referee in the white cap, taking control. And we're ready to go.
They've got Roseville defense spread across the field, Will.
Bendel in at quarterback, short yardage running. Track carries inside the 20 to the 19, gain of 4. We have played 3 here at Cosumnes Oaks High School on homecoming night, and the host Wolfpack is cruising 29-14. Don't wander off. 4th quarter drama dead ahead.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average 4-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Well, we open 4th quarter action. Bendel wants to go upstairs to the corner, got a man open. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Virtually undefended, and that was easy money for Jeremiah Moore.
It was wide open. We've seen that quite a bit here tonight, Will. We've had receivers wide open.
Looks like a chop block is being called against the Pack to probably negate this TD. If so, that would be their 2nd touchdown wiped out by penalty.
Yeah.
We'll wait for Ray Pulley's official announcement here.
He didn't go right now, I guess. The offense, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
You heard the man with the white cap. Rick Stewart has something for us. Rick?
Dakota Van Dyke, you can see him behind me. It's his right knee that there's an issue with. They don't really want to take any chances on it, but they don't think that it's anything real serious. But it is something that he said he felt on the previous play to when he got hurt. So it wasn't the play that he actually was down on the ground. It was a previous play in his right knee. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Rick.
Well, you don't want to lose a guy like that, one of the top linebackers in the city. Certainly they don't want to risk it with this lead, Will.
Well, 2nd and extra long here for the Wolfpack, and this play will not get off. And I believe Coach Milgram wants to talk things over with his Wolfpack. Timeout on the field. We'll step back for a quick 30 seconds and return immediately to the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
From the Roseville 34-yard line, we're ready to play a reverse. Turn the corner, big speed, nobody home, down the sideline, and again, number 5 turning it on, Jeremiah Moore. Dropped inches shy of the goal line, and he has been super duper tonight on 4 plays that I can recall. Boy, he was just a fraction from getting in there, and here's another look. They reversed it. Here he comes. The flow's going the other way. He turns on the speed, untouched in this alley. And then a little juke move, and he gets outside that defender, cuts it back in, and they drop him just shy. But on the next play, dance to the corner. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Track. Always on the fast track. Jacob Track. A 1-yard run is how it will look in the book. 35-14 now on the second play of the 4th quarter, and now on for the PAT, trying to tack on 1 more point as the TD comes at the 11:26 mark, early 4th. Good snap, good spot, blasted hard. Got it. Morehouse tacks on the point to make it 36-14. And the quick striking Wolfpack, Track takes it home. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
A busy kicker tonight. Brad Morehouse for the Wolfpack, teeing it up after their last touchdown. Short but high, taken at the 20-yard line. And a minimal run back to just across the 30. And that is where Roseville will set up shop here in quarter number 4. At the 11:20 mark. 1st and 10 for the Tigers, operating from their 33-yard line. A long hill to climb as we see Scott come off the field. Pierre Scott, rugged linebacker and tough running back. Out of the gun, Alvis. Long count, quick hitch, left side, Baker spins away from one man, and it's a hard-earned 5-yard run after the catch. Brad Baker.
Well, once again, I've said this before, I like when Roseville tries to go quick stop routes, swing routes, the short passes where you don't need much protection, Will. And they've got to stay at home when you got a big back like Evans, keeping him honestly in here. Let's look at this again. A quick stop route or hitch to Baker, and picks up maybe 3 or 4. That's all right. 2nd and 7 or 6. You got the big guy running hard inside. Mix it up on the short passing game.
The BB gun, Ben Baker, with his second grab. He had a long touchdown reception earlier. Double wide to the near side. Elvis to throw over the middle of lob. Got a man wide open, and it's a big gain for the Tigers. Jackson Esparza with the reception. 1st and 10, Roseville, and they're going to park the football at the Cosumnes Oaks 35. Another look. Nice touch over the defense. Perfectly placed in between a trio of Cosumnes Oaks defensive backs.
Well, Esparza's had 3 touchdowns this year, and he's got quite a bit of yardage on 9 catches, 128 yards coming in here tonight, Will. Wide open on that route.
Same formation, but they run it with Evans, and he angles right. Picks up about 5 before he's hit by 3 defenders and shoved back, but they're going to put him just outside the 30. Going to call it a 5-yard gain, make it 2nd and 5 as the clock rolls with 10:25 in the 4th. We'll mark it at the 31. He'll need 6 for a first down. Boy, Evans has been stellar, not racking up big-time plays in terms of mass yardage, but what a steady performer. Fake the pitch, hand it off, nothing doing. Boy, that was an outstanding defensive play. Turned in that time, and it was the anticipation that made it outstanding on that play by Sam Adame. Another look. Fake the pitch, inside handoff, and Adame had easy lunch on that. 3rd and 7 from the 32 after they lost a yard on the play. Alvis to throw, has pretty good protection, flushed, unloads, and gets a hookup along the right sideline, and some nifty footwork nets a first down for shifty Ben Furdeck. So the Tigers move the chains, as we'll see another look. Alvis, good recognition here as he scrambles away from the pressure. And Furtick, in a crowd there, makes the reception and advances the football. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Tigers on the move. Turn and give. Evans left side running. Nothing deceptive there, just straight power to the 11-yard line. Gain of 7.
We were talking about that Roseville defense getting tired, Will. And it appears now with Evans running between the tackles that he's showing a little wear and tear on a Cosumnes D.
No doubt.
Look at this. Hand off to Evans. Protect the ball. Here he is. Leg drive. Picking up another 3 after contact.
2nd and 3. Turn and give. Evans. Blasting off the right side. He stopped cold, though, right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that was some nice defense there by a pair of Wolfpack defenders. And leading the way on that, Jared Allen, 74. No gain. 3rd and 3. Not very often you're going to hold Evans to no gain. Tigers still operating from the 11-yard line, trying to punch in a quick score, and then we'll see if they decide to onside kick, if they can get it in. Fake to Evans. Alvis keeps it. It was a mix-up in the backfield, and he had to eat the football. Busted play there. Tough luck for the Tigers.
Well, it was, again, Evans, but he can run that play action. Have a look at this. There's a fake give to Evans. A little mix-up in there, and Ferguson is lucky. Alvis is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage here. And once again, 4th down here. Obviously, they're not gonna field goal it, Will. They've got to go for it.
Timeout taken by the Tigers. It comes at the 7:28 mark. The last tackle on the busted play issued by Elijah Offray, 24. And it wound up being a loss of 1, bringing up 4th and 4 from the 12. And Larry Cunha wants to talk it over. But looking ahead, a mere 1 week on Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. Uh-oh. It looks like it's Delta League time. The Monterey Trail Mustangs coming right here to this same stadium at Cosumnes Oaks because it serves as Franklin's home stadium. And the Wildcats are on a roll after shutting down Grant last week and holding the Pacers to a mere 9 points.
Well, I can tell you that we've had that game a few times, Will, and as you mentioned in that Delta League, any given night, anybody can beat anybody. There's some hard hitting. It's a great league, one of the top leagues in town, and we expect a great football game at Franklin here. TJ's Ball Club Monterey Trail with that vaunted Veer offense. They can dominate the clock and move the football in the chains.
That's one you're not going to want to miss. Coming up a week from tonight, 7 p.m., Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week, Comcast 17. Alvis to throw, swings it, incomplete. Just a little bit too much lead for the diving, valiant effort, Jordan Sesbelia.
That's a shame because he had plenty enough to move the chains. Excellent call.
Well,
wow.
Credit Larry Cunha and his staff, offensive coordinator Larry Cunha.
Well, Mike Wosner, if you're there, that's a great call. Wow. You got to make those plays. You really have to make those plays. It's not a difficult play, that swing pass. Excellent call.
So, taking over on downs, Cosumnes Oaks, 1st and 10 from the Wolfpack 12. Frierson to throw. Deep right sideline. He had a man wide open and overthrows Collins on the play. He has been open all night and has had 2 dynamite kickoff returns. And I think Mr. Frierson would love to have that throw over again.
Well, watch this. He would. As you see Frierson looking there, he'd like to have it. I'll tell you, he's got a core of receivers. We've said it over and over again tonight. Who do you key? You know, Lassie, Collins, King, Craig, I mean, really Moore. Any one of those guys can go to the house.
Yes, they can. What a brigade of receivers. They run it this time. Shut down, but the clock will roll with 7:10 to go. And Cosumnes Oaks, I guess you could say, putting some finishing touches on an impressive performance on homecoming night. And after having beaten Oakmont a week ago, it looks as though they will register their 2nd consecutive CVC victory and remain in the top half of the standings that we showed you earlier. 3rd and 9 from the 13. Frierson is going to throw on the run. Got a man out there for a sweet completion under pressure. And a clutch throw for the lefty, Frierson. And coming up big again, Jeremiah Moore. Comes up limping a little bit, but he's been terrific tonight. That's probably his 5th very productive play. Momentary stoppage of the clock with 6.5 to go. And the hosts on top, 36-14, making it a happy homecoming here at Cosumnes Oaks. Turn and give. Oh boy, oh boy. He was so quick through that line, it was hard to believe. 1st down, track.
Well, it's amazing here. They've got enough to keep you honest here. They got track running inside, outside. They get the ball to their wide receivers. You got 2 quarterbacks to defend. As we look at Jacob Track once again, who's on track. He moves the chains. And for a guy his size, I'm impressed how hard he runs.
Very impressed. And an underclassman. Here he comes, cut it back. nifty running. There was nowhere to go, and he still managed to get 5 out of that.
Well, right now, Coach Milgram has gone back to the running game, and he's got the game in hand pretty much and going to use the clock in his favor. Let's look at, here's track inside. Watch him keeping his feet moving. They're trying to reach and grab this kid, and nobody's really putting the pads to him. You know, and they've done that tonight, Roseville, in the open field, and you know, you're not going to do that to backs like track.
Clock rolling with 5.5 to go. Frierson wants to throw. Everybody covered, and he's going to be rushed and throw for the sideline, and intercepted. Was he able to stay in bounds? Yes.
Well,
a poor decision by Frierson, trying to get rid of the football, and Rich Porter with the pick.
Oh, a very poor decision. You know, when you're running for your life, throw the ball out of bounds. I mean, don't take a loss like that. And now the worst thing you can do is not only take a sack, but even a sack beats a pick. Let's look at this. Here's Frierson trying to flush the pocket. He's running away from a defender, throwing off his back foot into coverage.
Well, I didn't see anything there that was done correctly, but to err is human. Nice running room, but it's looking like that type of a play is going to be too little too late to overcome.
Well, I think right
the deficit.
Yeah, coaches, I think just wants to move the chains, get another score, and I'm not, you know, he's not worried about necessarily trying to pick up the difference. You know, he's 22 down. So why not just move the football, okay?
Evans straight ahead, crosses, gets inside the 45.
And number 3, Alexson Evans once again the ball carrier, tackled by number 7, Pierre Scott. And that'll be a good enough for a Roseville first down, 1st and 10, Roseville at the Cosumnes 44-yard line.
Well, whistles and a flag, and we'll let Ray Pulley.
Ball encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Now that could not be very pleasing to defensive coordinator Jack Lalonde on an encroachment at this stage of the game. There he goes. Man, Evans knocking people aside.
Well, he's enjoying it. He's getting stronger as this game goes on. And I'll tell you what, he enjoys the traffic and says, you know, this is what I do. You know, stop me. This is what I do.
That's what I do for 14 more yards.
And I don't know what his official stats are, but he's an impressive guy, and I don't care what the score is. He doesn't let up.
No, he plays for keeps. He's out there to give it everything he's got, and he's probably nearing 100 yards without an official total yet. However, 4:08 clock running, late 4th, 1st and 10. Alvis to throw over the middle. He's got a man complete inside the 15-yard line, and a little bit more gang tackling by the Wolfpack secondary.
Once again, Roseville down. They've been down there just a while ago. Will came away with nothing. Jackson Esparza with another catch and moving the chains. They were down there early in this quarter, Will, and came away from nothing. So give them credit. Roseville's not quitting. In fact, this 4th quarter, they've played harder than ever.
Yes, sir. Back-to-back gains of 14 and 12. They're on the move again. Turn and give. Evans, big hole right side. Who can stop him? I don't know. Touchdown Tigers from 13. Easy Evans. His 2nd TD of the game, and he has been a bright spot for the Tigers throughout.
Well, as mentioned by a number of coaches who were at that game versus Del Campo last week, despite a losing cause, he never gave up last week either.
No, he is a gamer. He's the kind of a player that will play again at another level. Anybody would like to have a fullback like that. So it's 36-20 as the Tigers strike again. Apparently a 1-point PAT try upcoming. Spotted, booted, line drive. Got it. A low liner over the bar, and here's how Evans got 6 more for the Tigers.
There he is, bouncing off tackle,
Stay
carrying
with us.
people with him.
We're going to be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Well, we've been treated to a number of exciting and electrifying plays this evening here on homecoming night at Cosumnes Oaks High School. Part of the attraction here on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week, the Never Say Die Roseville Tigers under longtime head coach Larry Cunha, showing lots of fight despite the adversity of having so many players on the injured list.
Well, I give with you, Will, a lot of credit to Roseville. Particularly in the second half.
Well, they tried the onside pooch. However, the Wolfpack is ready for it. They make a clean catch and inherit terrific field position here in the final 3.5 minutes as they'll open up from about their 40-yard line.
Well, right now, again, I see Coach Milgram running the football. Bendel back in at quarterback. As you know, they've been rotating series here tonight and doing it extremely well, and very impressive. Both quarterbacks, I know their quarterback of the future here, Bendel, is showing a lot of promise and things to look forward to for the balance of this year as well as on into next year.
No doubt, and predictably, they stay on the ground. I'm sure there will be a concerted effort to try to chew up the final 3+ minutes here. And of course, the Tigers anticipating that. I imagine they're going to try to jam that line and get their hands on the football one more time.
Well, we got a timeout over there. I believe Roseville used it.
One of their 2. They have 1 left. And they're trying now to salvage precious seconds until they can get the football back.
Right. Well, once again, I like what I see here in that Roseville. And at this point in time, really this second half, we have 14 points scored by Cosumnes Oaks, and we've had 15 points scored in the second half by Roseville. So you have to say that the Tigers have played the Wolfpack even in this second half.
Got to say so, and had it not been for that quick start and that fast 22 points.
Well, the one that to me, the deciding kind of moment of the first half was when you gave up 9, a safety +7 in a matter of 1 minute, because you not only gave up the safety, but the ensuing kickoff, you give up a touchdown.
And Van Dyke with this credit on the tackle for the safety. That did not fool anyone. However, another stoppage at the 3:10 mark.
Looks like Roseville taking another timeout.
And that will be their final timeout. So stopping the clock to try to maximize opportunity, and that'll give us a chance to step back and return in just 30 seconds. Stick around, lots more to come.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills, the smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter and in this ball game. It's homecoming night here at Cosumnes Oaks, and the host Wolfpack having a ball on top 36-21. Bendel rolls and wants more, keeps and runs into some trouble after a gain of about 3. And we're under 3 minutes now.
Well, the clock ticking away. Roseville with an opportunity. I'm sure that Cosumnes is going to punt the football, and Roseville with the opportunity to get another possession here, Will. But at the way it takes them time to score via Evans pounding inside, very difficult. If you say, hey, why don't they go into their 2-minute offense and throw the football? Well, that's something they don't do that well. So, at any rate, clock ticking away. They're going to punt the football.
Punt formation shown by the Wolfpack here with just 2:17 remaining. And whistles are going to stop play here. Delay of game, and it's going to cost the Wolfpack 5. So make it 4th and 12. Football parked at the 37-yard line.
Well, they're not worried about 5 yards, so now he's going to let all of that, punt it away. So it's 5 yards is immaterial to him.
Furtick and Esparza deep, but it's a high but very short punt, and it takes a backward bounce for the Tigers.
My goodness. What did he net on that, Will?
I don't know the answer to that, but it is small change.
It might be even under 10.
So the Tigers get the football back with just 2:03 remaining, but they have excellent field position. They'll open shop from the Cosumnes Oaks 47-yard line.
Okay, let's see if Alvis comes out throwing now, or do we give to the big guy? The big guy's not even in there.
Triple wide receivers to the right, passing down. Time is tight with 2:03. Low snap, Alvis has it. Left side, a strike, short yardage as Esparza makes the grab. They're out of timeouts. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Well, once again, see, they're no huddling. They're even taking time in the huddle here, and they've got to, if they want to get another score here, they're going to have to move a lot quicker than they're moving.
And maybe a bigger chunk to try to bite off, a deeper throw. Double wide to the right, lots of movement. Evans.
Well, that time they shot every linebacker. Cosumnes turned Adame and Scott loose, and it looked like even a strong safety. They rushed 7 people, and they came right at the gaps. So that's why Mr. Evans was finally stopped.
Clock rolls with 1:10 left, and the lights dimming on the Roseville comeback attempt. 3rd and 5. Fake it to Evans. He wants to throw over the top. A stretching grab, beautifully done. Esparza, the favorite target tonight, and he adds about another 15 on the run and stops the clock getting out of bounds with less than a minute remaining.
Well, there's thus far this year, he's one of the better tight ends I've seen, Will. I like the routes he runs. He's a good blocker. Very impressive. Very impressive. Yes, he's had 3 touchdowns coming in. Let's look at this. He runs good routes. That's a nice play by Alvis. I like the play fake here. Watch him. He's not giving up. They're trying to get one.
29 yards on that. Alvis rolls and fires. He's got a man underneath. Nice hook up there. And this time he clicks with wide receiver David Chambers for his 3rd catch of the night. Clock rolling, 35 seconds to go. Hurry up offense for the Tigers. Can they get in one more time? Alvis looks, fires, incomplete, going into the end zone. Trying to hit Esparza there. Clock stopping with 28 seconds left.
Well, that's one way to stop the clock without spiking the football. That was the other opportunity I saw him possibly using. Okay, if needed. All right, you're right there. You're right inside the red zone. Your ball is on the what does he got on the 6-yard line? Hey, if you need it, really got to stop it, spike it.
28 seconds to go. Alvis looking, throwing, bobbled in the end zone, incomplete. Tough luck for the Tigers. Well, it looked like Furtick had it all to himself.
Well, I'm almost thinking that Mr. Evans might be saying it aloud, saying, you know what? I can run people over for this 5.
Personal foul, roughing the quarterback on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
And those are the types of mistakes Coach Milgram referred to off and on during the week when we spoke with him. Discipline, and the ability to execute consistently. Alvis looking to the end zone, throws out to the right side, got a man, but he's stymied and shoved back, and they may not get up another play. 12 seconds, clock rolling. Tigers trying to scramble to the line of scrimmage. 9, 8, 7, up to the line. Can they get off a play? 5, 4, and they spike it to stop the clock with 2.9. Something tells me that you would not have called that type of play, Jim.
No way with the clock against me there, Now, you'd think right here, their last play of the game, right? Who should be carrying the mail? Now, if I were the defense, though, I'd be having 10 guys or so all over the big fella.
Alvis rolls, looks, looking, keeping, gets hit, throws for the end zone, and it's bobbled around and possibly intercepted. Well, what a way to wind it up. Coming up with that interception to finish it off. Number 3, Trent Cannon, and he just fired a cannonball with that interception. This game got strung out the final seconds. Credit Roseville for playing out the string all the way. A typical trademark of a Larry Cunha squad.
Well, I'll tell you this. Talking to defensive line coach Frank Negley, longtime veteran coach here in the Sacramento area.
How long?
Oh, my goodness. He's coached 58 years.
58 years.
A player that played in the Rose Bowl for Oregon State. Truly, as you see, great sportsmanship going off here. And we had a nice conversation at halftime, and we go back a number of years. And I'll say this, that give credit to Coach Cunha and his staff, never say die, and the players. The players, down in that football game, not looking very good, 22-6 down, and then come back and give Cosumnes all they want in the second half.
In the finest tradition of sportsmanship and hard play. So that's the way it goes into the book this evening on homecoming night here at Cosumnes Oaks High School, where the host Wolfpack started fast and played well enough to register a one-sided victory in tonight's 36-21 victory over visiting Roseville. Do not wander off in our post-game segment coming right up. Rick Stewart will be visiting with our players of the game and the winning coach in tonight's contest. Stick with us.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening in Elk Grove, where tonight, on homecoming night at Cosumnes Oaks High School, the host Wolfpack jumped out early, maintained a lead, added it, and held off a furious comeback by the Roseville Tigers to register an impressive 36-21 victory this evening over Larry Cunha's Tigers. For homecoming night, you see the Spirit Bell. We had the king and queen crowned. Lots of activity. The marching band was ripping it. And a big night here tonight at Cosumnes Oaks that turned out a huge crowd here at Wolfpack Stadium. Jim, in the best tradition of homecoming night, what an evening for the hosts.
Very definitely. Really, Coach Milgren's ball club here, particularly very impressive in the first half. They have a core of wide receivers that get the ball. They rotate quarterbacks in there. I'll tell you, this is a pretty good football team. Their defense, I think, got a little tired in that second half, and anyone would get tired trying to put down a guy like Evans, and it took 3 or 4 guys. So we're going down to the field with Rick, right?
Well, that's right. We have selected our players of the game, and I think we made 2 outstanding choices, and I believe there's a specially built graphic, and there it is, because we are going to honor Alex Evans of the Roseville Tigers, a throwback, fullback, smash mouth, see if he can put me down, and the new wave sprinter, Mark Collins, who was open all night long. Rick Stewart is standing by with our players of the game. Rick?
All right, Alex Evans from Roseville. Alex, tough night tonight. They jumped out to a big lead. Did that have any bearing on what you guys tried to do offensively?
Yeah. They were coming up hard on the blitzes, and they were taking up the gaps. So it was just a lot to deal with.
Now, there are a lot of people that would look at running back style and body style, and they'd look for the quick scat back type guy. You're a load coming through there. How does that influence how you play?
You know, I just try to lower my shoulder a little bit more. I try to still be agile and get around a little bit, but for the most part, I'm 220 and 5'10". I just got to lower the shoulder and lay the wood sometimes.
Doesn't really look like you have a problem running into the line and playing between the tackles and hitting people just as hard as you're getting hit.
Man, it's all good fun. I play rugby, and I'm just used to all that stuff. And the rucks and stuff in the rugby, it all translates to football, and it's a lot of fun running downhill.
Now, you said you're going to Central Washington to play rugby, probably?
I'm not sure if I'm going there yet, but I'm going to take a visit there to see if I like it.
Okay, excellent. Well, good game tonight. Best of luck the rest of the season as the season goes forward for you and the rest of your Roseville teammates.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, you too. All righty, Mark Collins, tremendous night tonight. I mean, several times you broke through the line, whether you got, any of your touchdowns, the kick return. I mean, you just looked like once you broke, the speed you have, just like afterburners.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give that to my trainers. I got the best trainers, work with the best trainers. Once I get that burst, I don't think anybody else catching me, so.
Now you had a kickoff return, a couple pass catches for touchdowns. You also special teams looks like it's something that is going to definitely carry you forward, even if everything else doesn't. Do you have a preference one way or the other?
Honestly, whatever helped my team, any way I can score, any way I can help the team. Honestly, like if I'm scoring touchdowns, blocking, running, anything, put points on the board.
Outstanding. When you look at what the quarterback's throwing to you, is there a difference in what you do or what you have to concentrate? A left-handed thrower coming out versus a right-handed throwing quarterbacks? Now, you have a rotation, too. Is that anything you have to worry about?
Not really. We work hard in practice, passing the ball. I'm used to both quarterbacks. I played with them when I was younger, JV level. So it's like I'm really used to it. Just keep your eye on the ball, and you'll catch it.
What'd you enjoy more, the touchdown catches or the kickoff return?
I like the kickoff returns. I like it open up, and then I'm just seeing green grass in front of me.
Well, and that was right in an area where you guys really jumped out at that point. So that was a big momentum.
Yeah, I mean, our team blocked for me. We've been working hard on the special teams part, trying to get a score since the season started. And we finally got them. So.
All right. Well, it won't be the last one, I bet you. There's the rest of the season if you're doing well. Congratulations on being our player of the game from Cosumnes Oaks. Good job. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mark. All right, Coach. Tremendous win tonight. I mean, you went up and you beat Oakmont last week, and then you come back here on homecoming, and really the score might not indicate it, but you really kind of put it to them.
Well, they kept fighting, and they made it a lot closer than I would have liked at the end. And, probably some of that is some decision-making on our part, and we'll keep working to get better. But I liked our effort. I liked how we started out tonight, and it was a good win.
Looks like you have a really, really nice balance between the running attack and also the passing. I mean, obviously the passing attack is tuned in.
When we make good decisions, we're pretty darn good at the passing attack. We're blessed. We have a lot of good skill athletes, a lot of good receivers. And our running game is inconsistent. We can make the big play, and we can get stuffed, and we'll just keep working at it.
Defensively speaking, it took a long time for them to really get unwound, if you will, and get going. What was the key that worked at first, and then what was the key that kind of made a little difference?
Well, a little bit of technical difficulty, and we're sorry we're not hearing the conclusion of that interview with Coach Milgram. But his team tonight, though he's still building up to what he would consider midseason form, where he can compete every week with these tough CVC ball clubs, I think he's shown enough improvement tonight to be very excited about this young squad, Jim.
I think so. I think as each game they'll get better and better. I think that they'll work on that defense a little bit. And you got track running inside with great second effort at Speedster. And then you got both quarterbacks competing for the job, willing to accept one another and playing in rotation each series. Sounds like the receivers, makes no difference to them who's at the quarterback because they work on it all week long. So I have to give them a lot of credit in that area. I think that, as Coach summed it up, we've got to tidy up these mistakes, maybe play a little more solid D. But I'll tell you this, they could put points on the board. They're a dangerous ball club. I think they're right in the hunt, really. As we sit here, they're 2-0 in the league, and along with a couple others after we get the scores in.
Well, this is a very tough league. People talk about the Sierra Foothill and the Delta, but this CVC has 4 or 5 heavy thumpers that can cause problems any week. And certainly Coach Milgram very happy to be in that 2-0 group as he continues to mold his team into a better outfit as the season continues.
Exactly. I know they'll get better each week. They're well coached. I like the attitude they come here to play. I like the overall school spirit that every time we come here, and not just on homecoming. They're solid in the band department. They got a great fan base here. They look like they got a lot of supportive parents, and that's what it takes to run your program. So I think they're solid in all categories, and I know they're going to be right in the race with perhaps another 3 ball clubs as it comes down the wire. We're only at midseason.
I fully agree with all that, Coach. And again, your reflection about being here this evening, we were treated very well, as we always are when we come here. And certainly hats off to veteran athletic director George Smith, setting things up for us very nicely. But tonight's contest, both teams have to be proud in possibly different ways of how they approached this game and how they showed out on the field. And this has definitely got some positive things that Larry Cunha can work on in upcoming weeks for the Tigers. And for Coach Milgram, a huge victory here tonight. And like we said, the CVC is a gauntlet every week.
Week in, week out.
Well, I do see we got a score from around the area, something else to do with the CVC. It had something to do with Del Campo and Whitney. Do you recall what that was?
Well, we got a score in. That's one of the scores that came in. And then a big game there at Del Campo tonight between Whitney High School and Del Campo. Del Campo coming away with a 30-10 victory over a very tough outfit. And so Del Campo is right in the hunt. Like I said previously, though, I think it's going to boil down to any of the 4. I'm not trying to discount the other 4, but I'd say there's 4 on top there that are going to lock heads against one another in the next couple of 3 or 4 weeks. And like you said, that conference is a tough conference. I think it's definitely really doesn't get the prestige that it deserves. And they can put, there's 4 teams in there generally that, and sometimes 5, like last year, that can play with anybody, Will. And so Del Campo with a nice big victory over Whitney, who normally scores a lot of points, limited to 10 tonight, in a 30-10 victory for the Cougars.
That Del Campo defense is answering a lot of questions. I do believe a week ago they shut out this Roseville outfit, so they're really playing on a high level right now. And the 4 teams you're referring to, Del Campo, Whitney, Cosumnes Oaks, and Antelope, the 3-time defending champs of the league. I believe Matt Ray's ball club has gone 21-0 the last 3 weeks in league. So the other 3 powerhouses definitely are taking aim on the leader and trying to knock him off the top spot. But tonight's game was a joy to be here. We had perfect weather out here in Elk Grove, and certainly the crowd, the big crowd that attended, was certainly pleased with the outcome and just the comfort of the evening and the overall presentation. Lots of entertainment and a swell night for a homecoming here at Cosumnes Oaks. And, you know,
the weather cooperated with us, Will.
It really did. And early on when we got here, before we had just set up, you know, the courtesy just kept coming to us from the staff and so forth. And a shout out to Ronnie's Gourmet Italian Ice. We were treated with some very tasty goodies early on when it was still warm, temperature-wise. And I think we put in a special order for Onicia, our game director, to also participate in that. But something went awry, and we'll have to make that up to her. So, and we have to give our esteemed executive director, the Access Sacramento executive director, Gary Martin, a gracious and loving happy birthday salutation to him. He's out of town right now, taking care of some personal matters, but certainly a special place in our hearts. And, well, let's see, let me try for it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gary. Happy birthday to you. Well, he is our leader and, of course, a massive part of this production that we bring to you each week here on Access Sacramento, the hometown sports game of the week. And again, a reminder, next week we'll be right back here at the same stadium as the Monterey Trail Mustangs hook up in a Delta battle with Franklin High School. Access Sacramento and the hometown sports game of the week wish to extend full appreciation to the Cosumnes Oaks High School administration, particularly to Athletic Director George Smith, for their cooperation and assistance with the broadcast arrangements for this television production. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For Jim Domino, Rick Stewart, our game director Ronicia Harris, and our entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us tonight, and as always, look ahead to the next occasion when we can get together. So long, everyone.
Turn, give, Evans, right side.
Call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.